it going, guys? We've got a few people in the chat. Welcome to the World Cup podcast. Rob, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you? This is exciting.
I'm good. It's real exciting. You know, I mean, we had Chris here before. He was telling me, he was like, "Where's Rob? I'm getting anxious. I'm getting anxious." He wasn't even going on the camera. How you been? All right?
I've been good. I've been watching lots and lots of internationals and reading lots and lots of news, sitting through the World Cup draw, sitting through the volunteer presentation. It's another hour and a half of my life I'm never going to get back. No, it's been great.
It's been good. It's been good. I mean, I'm pretty pumped to get into this draw. Looking at these draws, it looks there's a few interesting things. We've already been talking about it and we weren't even on camera, but
yeah.
Before we do, we got Chris, John in the chat. They're there saying hello. Not sure if anyone else is there yet, but I'm sure people will roll in. But yeah, we're doing a World Cup podcast. Hopefully, we're going to do a few more of them closer to the tournament. And you know, we were talking about we might do some watch-alongs and some things where international people. Everyone loves the World Cup, don't they? And Chris was saying he's not really into soccer, but he's going, "I love the World Cup because I just get into it." It's
look, you got to, and the match times are good.
Yeah, match times are good. Yeah,
8:30, 10:30 at night, our time. So that's really good.
I mean, and that's obvious. Yeah, that's just perfect time for us, isn't it? 8:30, 10:30 is good too. I mean, they're good times. That's
what you do is you take your Christmas holidays early.
Yeah, exactly. So what do we say? Yeah, I mean that's real good timing. I mean I can't wait for it. So. What are we going into first? A
little bit. Let's just let's have a little catch up on some news. FIFA are talking about increasing the playing time to 60 minutes.
Well, I read this. You put that in the news. I don't know. Did you want to ask if there's anyone in the chat if they want to get in on the newsletter, if they want to email us?
Absolutely, absolutely.
If anyone does, we'll mention it later as well. Once Rob's World Cup newsletter. How often do you do it? You do it.
Every qualifier
and things like that.
We do things like that, and I'll probably do one after the June qualifier.
So we'll mention it again later. If you want it, just contact our email and we'll get you in on it. Yeah,
absolutely. FIFA are talking about the fans want more game time, like on-field game time. So the average is about 45 minutes, 45 to 55 minutes.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, on-field game time. Yeah.
And they're saying, well, that's not enough for the fans. We want to increase it to 60.
Is there no concern of like player
safety?
Oh, not even safety. It's like, I mean, say when you play a game and it goes extra time. I mean, you're done. Like it takes a lot out of you.
Let's do a comparison. In terms of other sports like AFL, they stop the clock every time.
I think they do on stoppages. Yeah, every stoppage. Yeah, I think it does.
Yes,
well, it stops for goals, definitely, and things like that.
Yeah, the World Cup.
International football doesn't. Yeah.
So, and you know what time wasting by corner flag?
Yeah.
It's like, so I'm not a fan of this.
I'm not either.
If you can't put one past after 90 minutes,
I agree.
You know, maybe you've got to look at your squad.
Well, they got, like you're saying, let's example, you said AFL, they stop the clock. They've got interchange as well, so obviously games are longer.
Yeah.
We don't have interchange where there's obviously, I don't know, is the 5 sub rule coming into the World Cup?
They're talking about you can bring 24 players, so it's been
more.
So the original concept was you can bring a reserve player for every place on the field, which is where 22 came from.
Yeah, okay.
Now they've upped it to 23 for an extra goalkeeper. Well, now they're upping it to 24.
I was watching Rio Ferdinand on his podcast. He was saying that when the first World Cup he went to, he went as like he said England do it. I don't know if other countries do it. Like they take one schoolboy, so to speak, like one junior type of player, and he was the one that got picked in.
Prep them. I'm
guessing probably maybe 98 or 2002, maybe. I'm trying to think how old are you, but there's no intention of them playing. They're just there, you know,
for the experience and what have you.
So.
But that's what a good coach does. He'll bring in some young players to actually blood them in because you can't play everybody.
No, of course not. Well, you look back at the Euro, like again with England that we said. I mean, there was players. Rashford went, and in hindsight, he probably should have stayed and had surgery. He didn't play until the final of the. You know, he missed a penalty. But that's what I'm saying. Like, and Sancho too. They both missed, and they didn't. they didn't play, you know. So we've got a question here. Trendino de Gregorio.
Dino.
There you go, Dino. Rob
Thanks for
knows who it
joining
is.
us, Dino.
So we'll just call you Dino. There you go,
Dino.
Dino. What about subs? Will they increase if they wish to play longer? Yeah, that was the question I'm asking. So now in the what's that rule now? It's you can still there's 3 sub intervals, but you're allowed 5
Right.
subs.
Right.
Would that be? Is that going to be in the World Cup?
That's what they're saying for the moment, but
So
they're looking at it because and this is why this whole Qatar conditions of 40 degrees and all the rest of it.
Do we know? I mean, it's always hot there, but what season is it there at that time? Is it their winter?
It is their winter
Which is
they're
still going to be over 30, isn't
but
it?
it's between 35 and 40 outside. They've done tests and said they've got air conditioners inside the stadium, which brings the temperature down to about 25.
Well, do you remember when they first said that? Do you remember when they got given the World Cup and they were saying we're going to have air-conditioned stadiums and everyone laughed? They're like, yeah, right. And now they've actually done it. It's
they've
like,
done it. They've done it.
because I don't remember what year they got given it, but I remember the concept. They were like, we're going to have air-conditioned stadiums, and everyone was like, yeah, jog on. yeah, right. And it's actually happened. It's
Well, I don't know. People coming in and outdoors.
Oh, no, it's crazy.
You're going to work. When you're at home with the air conditioning
Yeah, I
on the
know.
door. I mean, come on.
I know. So at the moment,
It's
to answer Dino's question, it's going to stay at that 5 subs things, but 3
three
intervals.
Yeah.
And I know, so let's say English Premier League, I think these days they're allowed 9 subs.
Yeah.
What's the rule on a World Cup tournament?
Everybody.
I know, because that's what I've seen in the Euros.
Everybody
In the Euros,
sitting on the bench.
exactly. So it's going to be like that again?
If the socks, shoes, your shin pads, everybody is on the bench.
All right, so it's going to be like that again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's a bit crazy.
Even the young whippersnapper who's just brought along.
Yeah, okay. Because I remember in the Euros, it was when they got the team sheets up, they had to expand the screen because there's all these lists of players. So
Yeah.
Zakal says hi, everyone. How are you, Zakal?
Zakal,
Chris
thanks for
is
joining
saying
us.
hello to him. He's always there supporting. Big up to him. Amanda's there as well. So yeah, that I'm sure. I hope that answers Dino's question about the sub.
If not, send us a comment.
But is that's subject to change?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. They'll have another FIFA meeting. Well,
So when is there like a deadline they've got before they can?
there
say
is
they've got to
because they've
make
got to
it-
train the referees,
Yeah. Okay.
and that's usually 3 months out. So we're probably
Okay.
talking August, September,
Okay.
and they've got to firm in
Yeah.
the rules.
And obviously, World Cup's in November, December. It's like I remember we were talking about it. So I know England for a fact they're having 6 weeks. Is every league is obviously just
Well, this is the thing, especially with England with their busy season.
It's crazy.
You
isn't
want
it?
2 weeks with your team, so that brings it beginning of November.
Yeah.
If you go all the way to the semi-finals, you get 7 games, which takes you to the 18th of December.
And England are implying that they're going to go.
Well,
They
talk about
they
they
always
are
say
the
that,
draw,
but-
but
yeah, but
they're definitely going. I can't see
they're
them
going to get out of the
getting
group.
second round.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. So 6 weeks they're meant to have off.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they'll fit all these games in.
And apparently the season's starting earlier, I think, because that's why they're saying this preseason. So now let's say the season ends in May when the Champions League final is.
Yeah.
I think preseason is going to be shorter to accommodate for that 6 weeks in the end of the year. So it's going to be long. And they haven't had a rest because they had the Euros a year later. So
So they
all the
need a rest.
European teams. So I don't know, maybe that's
Maybe
that's something for the South American teams. That I don't know. Did they have a Copa America in there somewhere as well? Maybe as well.
Yeah,
They
but
did. I think it was a year before.
They did, but they still have a break because remember all these other leagues.
Yeah,
They all have.
they always usually have a winter break. Yeah, that's right. And even England had one, I think, last year, the first time they had a 2 week. Well, a week break. It was they did something because I know Klopp and that were a bit, a bit upset about it. But that's interesting though, because I mean they haven't. They always say, listen, I know they're professionals and that, but I mean, with the games, all the catch-up games because of the pandemic and that, they haven't going to have had a proper break for a while now.
And here's the thing. We're talking about the groups, but about they're halfway through the season rather than the end of the season. So technically, the players will be less tired.
Yeah.
Technically,
Well,
which means the gaps between good teams and bad teams should be bigger.
Well, this is what I was going to say. I know the heat is going to play a factor, but should this quality-wise actually be one of the best World Cups because they're mid-season?
Look, I think it will be.
That's what I think, because it's
Now-
this is their peak. Remember, Sir Alex used to say you win a title over the Christmas period. And I mean, they're playing in that period.
Yes, they are.
That's
And actually,
interesting.
they're playing less often, especially for the
Yeah.
people in the English Premier
That are
League.
used to playing a game every 2 days.
That's actually less often.
Yeah, true. That's
So-
a factor.
I want to bring up something for the ladies because Iran are under threat of being banned from the World Cup
I read that. Yeah,
because they still are not letting women inside the stadiums to watch the games.
that's ridiculous.
In today's day and age.
I mean, it's 2022. That's
And,
ridiculous.
and for those that are really keen, there is a movie about this.
Yeah, you wrote that. So the movie,
I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I don't
It
know.
was the Iran-Bahrain World Cup qualifier. It's
so it was based around a game. The movie.
yeah.
Okay.
And 6 girls, they all put disguises on,
Yeah,
wanting to go to the
to
game. Because the men said, "Oh, this is no place for woman, girl," because of
Oh man.
we swear and we carry on.
Oh, calm down.
So Italy jumped on the bandwagon and said, "Oh, can we be the replacement?"
Oh yeah. Well,
And people were saying, "No, hang on, we've got to be an Asian team.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You're not good enough." And we've also got.
So, what do you think the chances are they actually get banned? Is it high?
No, I think it's quite low.
Low. Okay.
I think they're not going to interfere in that type of
Yeah.
cultural politics.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah.
And I'm trying to stay clear from politics in this show.
Yeah. No. But it's a. I mean,
But-
it's a point. It's news.
But Iran not letting women inside the stadium deserves a yellow card.
Oh, it went
You
green.
can't see it's green. Look at that.
Oh,
I haven't got a card. Look.
Oh, there you go. A little bit. The green screen got rid of it. Oh, there you go. On the white, you can see it a bit.
See on the white.
There you go. Yellow card.
Yellow card.
Chris has already jumped the gun, I think, on something you were going to ask. He goes, best World Cup for me was 86, 94.
So everyone in the chat, we're going to ask this a couple of times. Have a think about. We'd like to know what your favourite World Cup moment was, or game, or incident, or whatever.
Yeah.
There's lots to choose
We'll
from.
go through it. We already started talking about it before, didn't we? So Zakal says, Rob, KP, Chris, do you think we will see the Socceroos in Qatar? Well, we're going to talk about that.
We'll
Zakal.
talk about
We'll
that.
get into that. So,
Couple other things. Egypt have lodged a complaint with FIFA, and Cameroon have lodged Algeria have lodged a complaint. Egypt for the green lasers.
on Salah, yeah, when they're taking
That's
the penalty.
happening a lot these
Yeah,
days.
it
You
wasn't
see
good.
it, but you see it in the European Cup finals as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
And Algeria complaining about the referee.
Okay. we as players, we all complain about referees.
So stay tuned for that one.
Okay. Listen, the laser pointer one was pretty crazy. Like the
they
guys
were-
there
did you see the
taking a
pictures?
penalty.
Did you see the pictures?
Yeah, and I mean,
On the goalkeeper as well.
yeah, and I mean, by no,
Is that,
everyone knows.
happening, is that happening in other sports?
I don't think so. Everyone knows. By no means am I a Liverpool fan, but I don't think I've ever seen Salah miss a penalty. Besides,
Yeah, okay.
he's very good. He's got a good record anyway. Put it that way. I think he's missed one for Liverpool to my memory.
I just wonder if that is in other sports, like NBA, if it's set shot, or
No, I don't think so. Never
that's
seen
not
it. Maybe NFL,
baseball.
maybe baseball,
I don't know.
NFL, maybe, but
All right.
I don't know. Don't know. Chris is saying his best moment's hand of God. Well, it's an iconic moment, isn't it? It definitely is iconic.
It is a very.
I think the
iconic
goal
moment.
he scored in the game was a
yeah.
better moment than the hand of God. The actual goal he scored was.
Wouldn't have happened on my watch. I could.
Yeah,
tell
but you know what I mean. I actually
I
think
would've brought
that
him down.
should go down for me. You should remember him for that goal instead of, because he was a marvelous player, obviously. Like,
Yeah, but how come everyone in the stadium saw it, but not the referee?
I know when you see the pictures, it's amazing that it never got.
Mm.
It's crazy, isn't it? When you actually see the pictures and it's
Well, what's the point of going back? I mean, FIFA just did this and said, anyone that's old enough or have seen the highlights of Italy versus Brazil in 1982, Italy scored a 4th goal, Antonioni, and he was clearly onside. It was flagged offside.
Yeah,
Italy won, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They've just brought that up again and say, we might consider changing the scoreline.
oh, calm down. Does that mean
40
England?
years ago,
does
you
that-
want to change the
Does that mean England are gonna qualify for the 2014 quarterfinal because the goal went over the line, or was that before that?
Oh, the Henri handball.
The Henri hand, that was a qualifier, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And that was big.
yeah.
That was huge because that got them into the World Cup.
Again, over the Irish, I think.
I think it was.
Yeah, 2010, Frank Lampard.
10, sorry.
That would have been his only goal he's ever
Yeah,
scored.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, are they going to go back?
I mean,
and,
just let it.
Yeah,
Italy got through. Let it go.
exactly.
Let it go. Gee whiz. Yeah, so that's the news for now. They look at the rules. They look at
Yeah.
if you haven't read my newsletter, one of the issues was drinking alcohol
Yeah, so what's happening with that? Obviously, people like to drink at a World Cup, and the alcohol
On
is
occasion.
prohibited in
Yes.
Qatar, like in the country, and it's prohibited, or it's against the law. Is that?
It is
I
against
don't
the
know
law.
the-
It is against the law. I think during the day, like daylight hours.
Okay.
It's a daylight hours
Yeah.
thing.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think.
Okay.
In my travels, I discovered that. But drinking anything and consuming anything during the daylight hours during Ramadan
Yeah. Yeah. I know that.
is forbidden.
I know that.
So all of those dormant super yachts, especially the ones that probably confiscated from Russia and all the rest of them,
Yeah.
and all those other cruise ships have all said, they've all put their hand up and said, guess what? We'll moor offshore. We're in international waters,
Yeah.
and we'll take you to and from the shore, and you can drink all you like. And you can also rent a room.
Sorry, they're gonna clean up, aren't
Aren't
they? They're gonna rake it in. Oh.
And the first to take
Oh.
the advantage with the wives and girlfriends of the England national team.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Doesn't surprise me. Oh, they're gonna clean up. They're gonna.
Can you
Rake it
imagine
in.
there's going to be 30, 40 boats offshore.
That's ridiculous.
This party's going
Oh, they're gonna be going mad. International. Well, I guess it's international waters.
It is. It's international waters.
Far out. Things. See, I remember when they got given the World Cup. I remember that the weather was one of the things that got brought up. The alcohol straight away got brought up because people are there to celebrate. They're on holiday. They're having fun.
But they talked about the infrastructure. I mean, how are they going to cope with so many people all in the one city, essentially?
Yeah.
Because you just got stadium after
Yeah.
stadium.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's like, stadium 5, entrance 4. But and that's what they've done. They've staggered the time so you can go to a game in the morning and a game in the
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
But
about
still, I mean, anyone that's been to a European stadium, like I've been to Old Trafford,
Yeah.
and I mean, getting out of it when the
Yeah.
game's over is,
Yeah.
and getting into it when the game's on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an 80,000, 78,000 is hard work. It's
Yeah.
not easy.
Yeah.
I don't know what the size of these stadiums are. Is there?
most of them are 60, and
See,
then
that's-
the final one will be 80.
See, that's big.
Mm.
That's
60,000 people, not to mention the crowds that are around outside and all the rest.
I mean, it's a completely different sport. It shows you in a couple of weeks ago when Lance Franklin got the 1,000 goals, they had 20-something thousand people on the ground. It took them 45 minutes just to get them off the ground. And this is not getting them into places. And
I heard that was handled very badly.
it was, but
There's only been 3 people that have achieved that.
yeah, it was. Well, when it happened the first time that I remember with Tony Lockett, it was at the same stadium, but back then there was only 15,000 people there, so it was half.
Yeah, okay.
And they probably just ran on, ran off. It was, but just using that as an example,
Yeah.
I mean, that was just to get them off of a ground, and there was exit points every centimeter because it's a ground, and they couldn't get them off. So imagine getting them out of, like you're saying, stadiums.
And they've got to have the transport to get them all there.
Exactly.
They've got to move 60,000 people quickly.
Far out.
I mean, the
Obviously, they've got something in place that they think is going to work.
trains are coming every 2 minutes, and they are chock-a-block full.
Far out.
Chock-a-block full.
Do we know who has the rights to the World Cup here? To TV rights? Is it going to be? Remember last time it was Optus.
Now,
it
I've
was-
read that
Do they know yet?
I've read that SBS are actually televising it.
That's good. That's a blast from the
So,
past.
it
Back to
is.
SBS.
It is. So that would be excellent if that's the case. Optus had a few little issues, didn't realise.
Yeah. Do you know what the thing was? I remember when they had it. I never had one issue with it when it was on.
Really?
Optus. Everyone was complaining. I remember it was the first year Optus got the Premier League and that.
Do you
And
get
it
a
was just-
business card from Optus every year?
I,
Are you their special?
I had
customer?
not one problem. I remember watching. I was like, it hasn't delayed once. It hasn't cut out once. It was just, yeah. So Dino says too many memorable World Cup moments, but
Yeah.
2014 Suarez bites off more than he can chew, and then gets suspended for 9 international matches. And then Chris says, "Oh my God, I forgot about Suarez."
That's the 3rd time he's bitten somebody.
I know we did it once at Ajax. He did it at Liverpool,
Liverpool.
and then for his country, and he racially abused Patrice Evra while he was a Liverpool player too.
What's
So
wrong?
that's 4. That's actually 4 very serious incidents. And I remember, I watched a thing with that Jamie Carragher was talking about it. He goes, "We championed him for racially abusing Patrice Evra, and now, because if that was now, what would happen to it?
Yeah.
He's a weird one, isn't he?
Oh,
He's a very weird, listen, very good player, but it's very good, but he's just a very.
Yeah.
I mean, that one on Chiellini that Dino's talking about, when he did it, I remember watching and I was thinking, what is going through that guy's mind to actually punch him or something, or bite him? Like, you know what I mean?
And to all the non-Italians out there, I'm pretty sure they would have said, "Hey, that's what a real injury feels like."
I remember those memes were coming out, and there was Chiellini with no arm, and because he's always on the ground. You know? Oh, listen, he did.
Incredible. All right.
Right, you don't like that one that Chris says, do you? He says another memorable moment, Baggio missing the penalty. It is a memorable moment.
I've blocked it from my memory.
Rob blocked it, yeah.
Blocked it from my memory.
Everyone forgets that Baresi, he was captain?
I don't know what you're talking about.
He was captain, wasn't he? Baresi?
No.
Was he not captain?
Maldini was captain.
Well, anyway, everyone forgets Baresi missed penalty too. He did the same thing, didn't he?
And Alberigo Avani.
There you can see. Everyone, it's just because his was the last one, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
I mean, it was a moment. It was a moment and a half, but...
No, it's gone from my memory again.
I still remember during the final, I can't remember who it was. It hit the post and went back into Luca's arms and he kissed the post. He was like...
Yeah, that was
that game ended 0-0.
That was the 94.
Yeah, I remember he hit the post and he caught it and he went...
Yeah. Italy were the first team to have a goalkeeper sent off in that World Cup. Luca got sent off against Norway.
Considering what Schumacher did in
82. That's what I mean.
So they're the first
He was the
team,
first goalkeeper.
the first keeper ever sent off in a...
Luca.
Jeez.
Yep.
It's funny, I look at him. I like that they had a good run of keepers at the time then, didn't they, Italy? I mean, they had Paluca, then they had that Peruzzi, then obviously Buffon came in, and now Donnarumma. They had a big run of good keepers. Because, I mean, I remember Paluca was good, and then Peruzzi it was okay. It was...
Because it's funny, back then, Brazil, obviously, five-time winners. Their goalkeepers were great.
You know what? I was going to ask that question. I was going to say that now. Are these... So at the moment, they've got Edison and Alisson. Are they the two best Brazilian keepers ever? And they're at the same time?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I reckon they are, yeah.
I'd say so.
And I mean, I know you're a Man City fan. Obviously, people are very torn on who... He picks Alisson at the moment.
Yeah. It is close.
It's close, isn't it?
It is close. And I know Alisson's been making a few mistakes. Dida was okay.
Dida was okay, yeah. But I think they're better than him.
They just got worse going further.
I think he was the best.
Same with the Dutch goalkeepers, actually.
I think Dida was probably the best one up until these,
point.
These two,
yeah.
See, I
didn't have to worry about it.
Great
scoring 6 or 7 goals down the other end.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you there. I actually think I'd go with Edison at the moment because Alisson, he does seem like he's got a mistake in him at the moment.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, it's very close between them two.
Did you see Edison's almost
slip? But he was so
casual.
And he just kicked it like it was nothing, though. But he was just so calm, wasn't he?
Close to go.
I remember Leroy Rossini was talking about it. He goes, I don't know how he stayed so calm. Because he just, like, he didn't care. But yeah, listen, the guy's, for a keeper, he's amazing with his feet, isn't he? But then again, Alisson's been playing.
He's got a few assists as well.
He does, yeah. But then again, you look at it, Alisson's been playing, and I mean, they killed their group, didn't they? So how do you change it when he's been...
Well, that's it.
That's
it. So, all right, hopefully the World Cup song is out. Obviously, it's called Higher, Higher.
I actually agree with Chris.
What's he say?
John says Inzaghi is God. But Chris, I agree with this. Hadji for Romania, some of his goals in 94, just wow. That one he did, it was very similar to a goal that Harry Kewell scored for Leeds against Arsenal. He was just on the wing and he just volleyed it.
Yeah,
it was a cracker goal. That I agree with Chris. That was
against Colombia.
Yeah, I can't remember, but he did it twice, 2 tournaments in a row, like the same.
He did.
Yeah, he was great.
That's one of my most memorable games is Romania and Argentina in that World Cup. And Romania won 3-2. That was just end to end. That was an incredible game.
I remember the 94. What was the 94 World Cup? There were some players in that tournament. The 94 World Cup that
Stoichkov did really well.
Bebeto, I think. Did
Romario better.
He did
One of
real well.
Romario's goals, half volley,
Yeah,
was
Romario
one of the
did.
most difficult skills to do against the Dutch. And
Do you know? I remember watching.
Great goal.
I watched highlights back of the '94 World Cup, and Ronaldo ran on and celebrate like young Brazilian
Yeah.
R9, and on his back it said Ronaldinho, because he was little Ronaldo then.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just ah
that's some great. Oh, that's what Ronaldinho picked off David Seaman
again. Yeah. You know, I've watched
from
him.
27,000 yards.
I've watched him do an interview with it, Seaman, and he's actually real good talker. He's really like, he's like, what am I gonna do? He goes, I made it, he says it, he goes, I'm not gonna hide from it. I made a mistake. He goes, people always ask me, and I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I fucked up. Really, like, that's the only way of putting
Well,
it.
I know, and it's a funny thing. As a defensive goalkeeper makes a mistake, it's a goal,
Yeah.
and forward makes a mistake, it's all right.
Dino says, hey, it's not prosciutto.
What?
No.
What?
But yeah, I agree with Chris. Actually, agree with Chris. I mean, he was a champion. Hadji was a good player.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was a real good player.
absolutely. So this World Cup, the ball's going to go even faster.
So
Right.
it's lighter again.
It's what?
Is it lighter again? The ball?
I don't know about lighter, but apparently it's going to go faster, and the panel's a different shape again.
How fast can it go? Like,
Can you imagine if some of these soccer balls were available back in the 50s and 60s, what these players would have done with them?
well,
Can you imagine
I've watched a thing with Pele, and he goes, when we were headering the ball, we're scared it's going to split my head open if I
Yeah,
got
it's
it in
two-
the wrong
that?
spot.
It's 2 kilo.
And I mean,
2 kilo.
it's funny. You watch back clips of him in particular. I mean, his boots probably weighed 3 kilos, and the guy was. You watch him sprint, and it's
Yeah.
like, how's he? Imagine
Yeah.
he had these boots that weigh nothing with a ball that weighed nothing. Like, he was doing things that, like, even George Best,
Yeah.
the way he like, how's he moving like that in those? That's just a couple off the top of my head. Like,
Yeah. So they're trying to make obviously the game make more exciting. They'll be
it's gonna move quicker. That's crazy. Like, you think of previous guys that had ridiculous shots, like
even Van Persie.
Van
I
Persie.
watched his free kick against
He
Ivory
had a
Coast
solid-
again the other- Jeez, that flew.
Actually, you know what? Both
Flew.
from, obviously, I used to watch them all. United point of view, him and Rooney both had cracker,
Yeah.
like top of the foot shots.
Hulk.
Hulk,
200 k's an hour.
cracker one. I mean, how much quicker is it going to go though? With that,
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel sorry for the keepers. It's the first time I'm ever going to say that.
Well, that's just it. I mean, what was the keeper supposed to do?
like,
Stop them shooting is what the message is. Stop the opposition from shooting.
ah, Dino's saying is referring back to the bite. It's not prosciutto, to the Suarez bite. Referring. That's true.
Then why does he keep biting people then?
Yeah, I don't know. Maradona, best World Cup player, Johnny G says.
Who made a difference?
Best World Cup player.
He was in an ordinary team, and they struggled against South Korea, and they struggled. Yeah.
Oh, he's definitely up there. But I mean, like we said, you can't. Pele's going to be up there, isn't he, as well?
It all depends if you're talking on a pure over a 7-game basis, because Lothar Matthäus in the 1990 World Cup really dominated midfield.
I mean, even going back to R9, 02 was 02. He destroyed that
Yeah.
World Cup. Like he
Yeah.
he
And
killed
was the
that World
first player in going back to, I think, 1970.
He scored 8 goals, did he?
Who
8
scored more than 6 goals in the World Cup?
goals? He destroyed that World Cup, like from a sheer playing point of view. Like,
Every time he got the ball, it was close enough to goal.
oh,
He
he
went
was
in.
just, he was. Oh, listen, I agree with Johnny. He's definitely one of the better World Cup players for sure. Like,
And I think if Italy would have won that final in '94, they may have said the same about Robbie Badger.
oh,
Because they were
definitely.
down and out
Yeah,
against
definitely.
Nigeria. He stepped up against Spain. He stepped up against Bulgaria.
I actually think, as well, even coming more
More
recently,
recent.
the one that when Messi lost, he won the player
Yeah.
of the tournament. He killed that tournament.
Yeah.
He sat back as a number 10 and and then he won obviously the
Well,
golden ball, whatever it was.
Higuain would have had his boots on the right.
Exactly. Or they played Aguero.
I know. I never
How
understand
I
that.
never understood how he got picked ahead of Aguero.
Me
Now.
neither.
That's
Me neither.
for me. I could never understand.
Especially because Messi and Aguero had been in the World Cup winning junior team
Yeah.
up until then, and they'd never lost.
Yeah.
Together.
That was crazy. Zakal says Brazil had the best players back in the years in the World Cup: Roberto Carlos, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Kaká. And then Dino says, "What about Paolo Rossi moment? He lit up that World Cup. Didn't he? Was it 90?
82.
82. So
He
he
did.
lit up. I mean,
After
and he wasn't
coming-
meant to play, was he? Is that
No,
the-
he came back from a 2-year ban,
That's right.
and the coach was bagged by the press for picking him.
I mean, he did that.
He's not match fit. He's out of shape. Blah, blah, blah. And
I mean, he lit that up, didn't he?
Italy scraped through to the next round by 1 goal.
There you
Scored
go.
one more goal than Cameroon to get into the next round. Then they beat the world champions. Rossi scores a hat-trick against Brazil. It just snowballed.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about it before. I was saying to Rob, and it's got nothing to do with anyone I support, nothing. One of the best World Cup moments I can ever remember, and I was saying it to Rob, I was sitting in this very room watching the World Cup 94 with my dad, with Don, and I just remember, I'll never forget his reaction. He was just cracking up laughing when, well, you said now, what, a 36-year-old Roger Miller just ran up and stole the ball off Higuita. It was one of the best moments ever, I reckon. I mean, it was...
Italia 90.
Yeah, it was...
He scored 2 goals that game.
Yeah, that guy,
He scored 5 goals. I
he
think.
was...
Right?
Obviously, the European clubs probably didn't know much. I don't know.
No.
They didn't know much about him, and he was just. There was a lot of African players that obviously were good. They just had the ball on a string, and he was just.
But he was 2-footed. He
Yeah,
knew the
yeah.
goals were-
And I think in that game, Higuita did his Spider-Man, everything. He was
Oh,
showing
he was
off.
doing all that shit.
And then Roger Miller just came and took the ball, and it was. I remember my dad just cracking up laughing, like, that moment, that was hilarious. That was
a World Cup that Cameroon beat Argentina in the opening game.
There you go.
They finished the game with 9 players.
9 players.
And Maradona's in the other team. Still beat.
Yeah.
Still beat.
That moment as well with Maradona. I mean, the Greek boys are not gonna like it when he scored that goal and then he got drug tested like 10 minutes later, and he
He's
got
walking off
and he,
laughing.
got, and he was
All
laughing
right,
and he got
all
banned.
right.
I mean that was an iconic moment. You say
Yeah.
like, he'd come out of
He come out
sort of retirement.
He
didn't
did
Yeah.
because Argentina were almost going to miss out against
Yeah.
Australia.
And that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Amazing.
I think I've heard stories about that. He was playing. There was Australians cheering for him. He come out because they just couldn't believe they were seeing Maradona.
Yeah.
They didn't care their team wasn't going to make it. They were cheering for him.
Well, that's what happens over here. As soon as we get a visiting team, all of the fans come out of the woodwork, right?
You know, I heard an interesting fact about Maradona. It was so funny. You know, him and George Best. Obviously, it was a different year, but they died on the same day.
Oh, really?
And when I heard that, I was like, "That is the most." I mean, they were probably the 2 rock star footballers, weren't they? To go and then on the same day, it's trippy, isn't it? It's a weird fact, isn't it? That's tell you what.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying hand of God. Look at these
Hand
guys.
of God, is
They
it?
all love the hand of God moment. Oh, it's definitely iconic. You can tell that age bracket of John. You were 1 year old, so you know Chris a bit older, but it's definitely an iconic moment. You look back on it and watch it. It's.
Just trying to think of one in the 2000s.
I reckon the best 2001 is going back to Ronaldo when Oliver Kahn makes that mistake and he just. That's just a moment. It's just because it was a big moment for him.
Yeah, it
Everyone
was.
that was a football fan, it was like
And Oliver Kahn won Golden Glove.
exactly, and he was like not making any mistakes, like, and he just out of nowhere just makes this error that he would never make. I don't remember him ever making errors. Like
I mean,
that.
I still remember, that's going further back, I still remember the 82 Schumacher
yeah,
poleaxe was
That's-
just unbelievable.
oh, when you watch it now, it's like horrific. You watch it, you're like, man, it's just, and he didn't get nothing, did he? Didn't get a yellow card.
No, it was
Nothing.
a goal kick.
That's terrible.
He's concussed and knocked out.
Oh, he destroyed him.
It was a goal kick.
Yeah, that's terrible. That moment.
World Cup semi-final.
I mean, obviously, there's moments going back that, like, you hear things of Pele, like he retired from the World Cup because of the injury. The English
He got kicked
butchered
in
him, and then they
He got
convinced
kicked
him to
in the
play in 1970 and arguably one of the best teams ever. They go and win it.
Yeah.
That's got to be an iconic thing. That's a moment, but you know, There's so many. That's what I said. I don't think you can put it down to one. I said that to you.
No.
I don't think you can pick one.
I mean, I remember in USA '94. It was the first time, only time it's ever happened. It was Mexico against Bulgaria. Someone from Mexico was cutting the ball in. It was heading towards goal. The Bulgarian defender was sprinting back, knocked the ball out, fell into the goal. The goal broke. They literally broke.
There you go. There you go.
So contingency plan, that's to drag a whole new.
Going back to '94 World Cup,
amazing.
another big moment in '94 World Cup was the Colombian defender.
Or
What was his name again? I mean, he scores an own goal. Yeah, and he
Yeah,
gets,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he gets.
because
What's his name? I can't believe I forgot his name.
So am I now. Help us out, people. Oh, what was his name?
I don't know. But
I
anyway,
can picture him.
that was a massive moment. Like
Yeah, it was.
that would be the biggest conspiracy now. If that happened in today's day and age, that would be. It's a conspiracy anyway. When you actually go back to it, like that was crazy. But that was a huge moment. Zakal says, "Is Greece in the World Cup?"
No.
Is that a trick question? Are you
No.
trying to pick on us, Zakal?
The Greeks are holidaying in Italy,
Yeah,
and the
holidaying.
Italians are holidaying in Greece.
John says, "Prediction: African nation will win the World Cup this year." Are you copying? You know, Pele predicted an African nation will win the World Cup before 2000, didn't he?
Yeah.
That was his prediction.
Yes, it was.
You know what? I get why he predicted that because I've played with a lot of them too, guys that have come here from Liberia and some of them are just next level players. And then you think about it, some of them are, it's just something holds them back. You know, it's third world country, whatever it is. It's
And it's, sometimes
they're talented.
it's
They're
just
naturally
it's
talented.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Because and
Who have they got batting for them? I know they got Ghana.
they've got Senegal, who are rated very highly.
They're good. Ghana, Senegal,
Where are we? Cameroon, Morocco,
yeah.
and Tunisia. I don't rate Tunisia.
Saudi Arabia, they're
No,
Asian,
they're
aren't they?
Asian,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they're next door.
So Senegal's their best bet in it.
Yeah,
They're going to cause trouble anyway.
I
We're going to
think
get
so.
into that, but they're going to cause trouble.
Yeah, it's a good segue into Group A. Let's have a look at Group A. Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, and the Netherlands.
So before we go on it, I don't know anything about the host nation team.
Qatar,
Personally, what do they bring from?
they haven't got many players around the world.
That's what I mean.
They're playing locally. They did win the Asian Cup.
Yeah. Okay.
So they've got something. I know they've dragged a lot of quality coaches and players. Xavi, there's been a few others. Off my head, I can't recall. But they've dragged a few players. I mean, Tim Cahill.
Yeah.
Tim Cahill was out there, but
The Jazzman says Ghana to win. Alan says hello. Alan, how you going? One of our
G'day.
boy. He comes from he's a Man United fan. Comes on the podcast. Chris is saying love Ghana. Well, you know what? In that group, got to give a big shout out. Me and my dad were talking about it today. Netherlands. At the moment, he's still going to coach them, but he's been diagnosed with aggressive prostate cancer. Louis van Gaal.
oh
And
right,
he's gone through a course of chemo, and he said he's okay. And I believe Ronald Koeman has been appointed to take over straight after the World Cup. But at this stage, he's
aggressive. He may not last.
exactly. But so at this stage, he's still going to take them. And my point was, I was saying to my dad was, I mean, do Holland lift for that for him because of that? It's an emotional thing, isn't it? Do they get behind him and have they got the squad to?
I think they've got the squad.
They got the team, don't they? I mean, and he's a good coach, Louis. He's he's experienced. He knows how to win, doesn't he? And I think he's actually good in. I think he's a better national team coach these days than he does real well.
Yeah,
he knows things. He's smart.
Yeah, and I think he's learned a lot from Louis van Gaal as well. I think the Dutch have a good backbone.
Yeah, so do I. Depay's come of age a bit up front. I mean, they obviously got Van Dijk. One item does well in centre mid.
Bergwijn is scoring.
He's doing well for Tottenham.
And he's scoring for the
Yeah,
national
yeah,
team
he's
as
doing well.
Dumfries on the right hand side.
And I mean, there's other ones that were mainstays for them. Like we're talking about, like didn't get a game for United. He's not in the squad at the moment, Donny. But with Ten Hag going to United, you think he'll be playing.
Yep.
He might come back into the squad. He was a big part of their thing. De Jong. So De Jong, Wijnaldum, and Donny, let's say, if they're all there, that's a good midfield, isn't it?
And with a good half a season behind them,
Yeah.
in the lead up, it's actually pretty good timing.
And De Jong now with Xavi as he's playing real well with Xavi as his coach, midfielder. You know, that's a good midfield. Like you said, De Ligt, Van Dijk. They're always suspect keeper wise. I agree. I don't know who's their keeper now. Sillerson, is that his name? I think it's
The Dutch.
Yeah, I'm not sure who gets a game now.
Nice to come.
I think Stecklenburg's still playing. Yeah,
Still
but I
playing,
don't. I mean, that's where they're always suspect there.
And the thing is, there's an international break in June, September, and October. October might be a bit too. Plus the lead up.
Yeah.
So they've got time to.
So from your supporter point of view, all your eggs are in.
Yeah, from my heritage point of view.
I mean, we're going to get to our country's probably not going to make it, so you're going to go for Holland, don't you?
All my eggs are in the Dutch basket at the moment.
You don't have Italy there. You don't have your other basket, so you got Holland. You got
and Australia. No,
and we don't think it's right.
no.
So, but yeah, I agree. I think they got a real good. They got a good backbone. Yeah, I agree. John, I reckon spelt it wrong, but he's saying Gravenberg. He said Gravenich. Gravenberg.
Oh yeah.
He's a good player too. Yeah. He's Ajax one. Yeah, so he's a good player. They got some. They do. They got some. Yannis Jazzman says Iceland in this World Cup.
No,
they had their time the last one, didn't they?
And
they did
the
well
Euros.
in the Euros. Yeah, they did. I mean, I think it was you that sent me that stat. Was it one in? If you were born, I think if you were a man in Iceland born from in between 70 and something, you had a 1 in 3 chance you were in the World Cup team.
Yes,
because the country is so small. Crazy. Yeah, but John's got another one there. Gravenberg is good. And they got a couple of those youngsters we were talking about on the Man United show. Like Timber is a centre back. He'll be in the squad.
Yep.
So Dino says, Rob would appreciate this. A film was released last year and nominated for an Oscar this year, The Hand of God, set in Naples at the time of Maradona's arrival. I've seen that, 1980s, yeah.
I gotta watch that. Thanks, Dino. I didn't know
I've heard that. I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's out, yeah. It's based on the whole Naples thing, yeah. Yeah, for him. I mean, he's a god there, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, I loved him. Absolutely loved him.
So, yeah.
He brought a Scudetto to
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And everyone has seen his warm-up video, right?
Yeah. Oh, no, you got the best, and it's iconic.
That is iconic.
Oh, definitely. Video. Yeah, definitely.
All right, shall we get into it?
Definitely.
Group A, the host Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, Netherlands. A lot of people here are picking. Netherlands was seeded, obviously, and Qatar, obviously, in the A1 position.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
So the opening game will be Qatar,
and Ecuador.
Yep.
And people are writing off Ecuador, and some people are writing off there's a lot of people that are picking Senegal to finish second. I wouldn't necessarily write off the host.
No, they're going to have the country behind them, aren't they?
Russia was the lowest ranked team in the last World Cup, officially, according to FIFA rankings, which are always accurate.
Yeah.
And never wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, we like that. Never wrong. Yeah.
Well, so that'll be an interesting open game because Ecuador, all the South American teams, the South American teams have a very tough draw, but qualifying process. But Ecuador just seemed to fall apart when they play away.
I saw that. Yeah, when I think they went to Brazil, they got spanked. They went out. Yeah, they did. I think that. Yeah.
They were at the 2006 World Cup and they did okay. Yep. So with Antonio and Enner Valencia were the team at the time.
The two, I actually liked the other Enner Valencia.
So did I.
He's good.
Well, I think he's still captain at the moment.
Yeah, well, he was younger, so.
So, I'm.
Listen,
this is tough.
I can't. Netherlands are going to get out. I think this is my opinion, and
I'm going Netherlands Qatar.
And
because I just think that the
host, the country will get behind them.
Will get behind them, and they'll just lift 20-30%. It may not be pretty football, but I just think Qatar might actually get a result. And they're playing the Netherlands last, so I'm just.
If Netherlands already.
Yeah,
through maybe. Yeah.
Whether.
Yep. And Louis Van Gaal's known for that. When his teams are, he'll even in a World Cup he'll rest. I think that's how he is. He thinks everything. He's very methodical.
Louis Enrique does it too.
Yeah. That's a hard one. See, I'm going to go Senegal, Netherlands and Senegal. I'll go with John and back up the one of the African teams.
Oh, it's that Senegalese is a great team.
Yeah, they're a good team. Yeah, I mean that's
Mendy, Koulibaly, and Mane. And
yeah,
you've got
all
all of
good
a sudden
players.
you've got a decent backbone.
Mendy last year. He was probably the best keeper in the world. He's letting a few errors in at the moment, but I mean he's a good keeper. So, and like you said, Koulibaly is a good centre back. Mane is obviously a very good player. Yeah, I'll go them. Netherlands, Senegal, I reckon. That'll be some interesting games. So what's Netherlands? So it's Qatar, Ecuador. What's Netherlands' first game?
Senegal. Yeah.
Tell you what, if they don't,
And this is the
if
thing.
they lose to Senegal that game,
This is the thing. You think, oh, okay, we've got 3 chances.
yeah,
But every game,
yeah,
you've got to get the points. And I remember when I took away a state team once, and the thing is, I said, no, I'm going to play my best team to start off with.
You have to.
We need
Yeah,
that
I
3
agree.
points.
Yeah, the first one's so important, I think.
And that this lifts their confidence and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, yeah, I agree. I think the first one is Group B. Is that the easiest group? You think?
No, actually, I think it's an easy group.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, Group B.
Depending on who. So, Group B, England, Iran, the
US.
US, and either Ukraine, Scotland, or Wales.
So it's like the Euro playoff is Wales versus Scotland, or that hasn't been decided yet.
Yeah,
Scotland,
so-
Ukraine. So, who do you see go? Who do you actually think is going to get in?
I
Out of
think
that one?
Wales are going to do it.
I think so too.
And it's not because they've only got to play 1 game, the others have to play 2. I just think
You know what? What's his name? He still lives for his country, doesn't he? Bale.
Bale, he does.
He gets up for Wales,
does.
doesn't he? He really.
And
It's like he puts them on his back, and he just.
but it's with anything, you know, when you're going to play it, lifts in your team.
Yeah.
You lift.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know, you run that extra 10 yards. You run that extra 10 minutes. You think, oh,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'm not going to let the team down.
See that Wales come into that. I think that it does become a. You know, it's not a given for England to beat Wales.
Not if Harry Maguire's at the back.
Tell you what.
Well, I don't know why. And I got to say this: Jordan Pickford's not having the best season.
No, I think they should take Ramsdale anyway. He's played a lot better for Arsenal. That's my opinion. But we'll read a few of these chats before we
Yes,
keep
go
going.
for
So,
it.
Mr. Lachlan says, KP, are you streaming any AFL or NRL games this week? I think Chris is, man. Going to do an AFL on the weekend. Zakel's getting into it. He's always asking everyone who he's following. Johnny says not really in the NRL, but he follows a bit of AFL and Premier League. His main sport is jazz, he said, because he's a jazz man. So they've gone off on a tangent, I think. So they're just telling Zakel he'll be a VIP in the jazz club, I think. So jazz man is halftime entertainment for the World Cup final, Chris reckons. Oh well, yeah. So I mean, Wales come into that like you said, the United States think they're going to do in themselves. They think they're going to do very well, don't they?
I watched them beat who was it? I think it was Costa Rica 5-1, and Christian Pulisic scored a hat trick.
They got that other one from Dortmund. He's a very good player too, isn't it? Rayner.
He's
Claddy
injured.
Rayner.
He's out.
Oh, the what?
Well,
Because apparently, I mean, from the way that they've put it is pretty much Pulisic and Rayner. They're saying are USA's first ever global
and
football superstars. Them two in particular.
Rainer, I think they're talking 2-3 months. So,
Ooh, so that could hurt him.
That's a bit of a thing, but
Or he could come in fresh, like yes.
seriously, with those two, they don't make a difference. I wouldn't be surprised if Iran beat the US.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, they don't have much, do they?
I think,
And they're both attackers. They don't have anything.
well, they say that no, but they say that both Iran sit back and the USA sit back. So
Yeah, okay.
this could be a very boring game.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Yeah,
By the way,
definitely.
I hope not.
I mean, and listen. That group. I'll back England and Wales if it is Wales.
If it's Scotland or Ukraine, those two teams can lose on the best of
Yeah,
days.
I agree.
So
Tell you what, the thing is, if it is Scotland, the England game becomes so different because it's a
Yeah.
huge derby for them.
Yeah.
It becomes, I think it was Euro 92 where they played and it was massive, wasn't it? Like it's
Yeah.
never a given when they play
And
Scotland.
the last Euros, it was
Yeah,
1-1.
so it's never a given when they play against
No,
Scotland.
and England were at home.
Because Scotland treat that game like their World Cup final.
Yeah.
So that would change the whole dynamic of that. But
I remember the Battle of Barron.
exactly. So I mean that Ukraine.
Flower of Scotland. When will we see you? You're like again. Sorry.
So Ukraine, I mean, all the thing that's going on with them.
Everything that's going on with them. So that's going to be hard for them to, I don't know, stay focused. But sometimes in adversity, it gives them.
Yeah, of course.
It gives them an opportunity to stay focused.
Yeah, of course.
And it gives them something to hang on to.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm going to say. Either way, you know what? I'm going to say England and whoever the Euro playoff is will get through.
I think too.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Which means if Qatar end up playing Wales or Senegal, if Senegal end up playing this, if Senegal end up finishing, oh no, Senegal would end up playing England. If Senegal
England
finished
finish
second
top.
and England
Yep.
finished top, I wouldn't.
Senegal could beat England.
That's what I'm
Oh
saying.
yeah.
I don't think that's.
I mean, we've shown it. Like you just said it in jest, but I mean, Mane licks his lips looking at Maguire in his league, and those players because at the moment they're picking. Stones isn't playing much for Man City at the moment, so he's not in. They're picking Tyrone Mings,
Villa.
yeah, and Harry Maguire. I mean, I'll lick my lips at them too. And apparently, I saw Fabrizio Romano said the reason he said Harry Maguire got booed is not because everyone dislikes him, is because Tomori is playing for AC Milan, who are top of the Serie A, and apparently he said Fabrizio Romano said he goes, the first time I'd ever say this, he goes, he is the best centre back in Italy at the moment, and Southgate isn't taking him. So
What is that about?
So I don't know what's going on there, but apparently he's quick, very quick apparently. And I mean, he's been in Italy, so leveling his game up. And I mean, Smalling plays for Roma.
That's right.
Doesn't
He scored last
doesn't get. And I think Roma under Mourinho at the moment haven't lost in 12 games or something.
And Tammy Abraham's already got 20 goals this season.
Exactly, he doesn't get a look
So
in.
he scored more than
So he doesn't take Abraham, Smalling, Tomori, Sancho, Rashford at the moment. None of them are even in the squad. But he takes about 14 number 10s. That's the thing about him. He takes and I'm not
Grealish.
so Mount, Foden, Grealish,
Greenwood.
He's going through his legal thing, Greenwood.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, they're all the same position. As a coach, you got to make a tough decision. Pick one.
Yeah.
And you know what? At the moment, I think for the team, I'm not saying he's better, but I'd actually take Mount. I think he's a goal threat, and he's a genuine.
And I'd take Grealish as a backup.
I agree, but then I mean, Foden is popular. Like Foden, I think the thing that Foden has about him, and I actually think he's a big game player. He lifts like against Liverpool. They're saying he always scores again. He lifts in big games, and for a young guy, that's a big thing. So
yeah,
I mean, but you got to pick someone, don't you? And I mean, then you're leaving Sancho out. Rashford's had a real bad form, so I understand why he's not in it. But Sancho was in a real good run of form. Sterling is a winger.
But they can play Sancho as a winger.
Exactly. That's what I would. But you know what? I was watching Rio Ferdinand's podcast the other day, and you know what he said? He said England's most important player in the back line, he goes, because of all their defenders, who it is, he goes, is Kyle Walker. He said because he plays him as a third centre-back, and his pace just...
Yeah, he is quick.
He goes, he goes, I'd pick him ahead of, because he plays 3-5-2, because you've got to think how Southgate plays. He goes, in my opinion, he's more important than, because he picks Maguire, Stones.
Yeah.
He goes, he's their best. He goes, he's probably the first name on the sheet for them at the back.
Wow.
Because Pickford, like you said, isn't having a good run. Maguire's having a terrible time.
He doesn't, and
Tomori, we said, doesn't get picked.
Left fullback, he keeps changing his mind.
I mean, and because he plays Walker central, you got James and Alexander Arnold.
Yeah.
Both flying.
I like.
The thing is, he was, until he got injured, he was Chelsea's leading goal scorer. But because he's so far forward, like you got to take both of them, I think, and just pick one for the occasion.
In the last Champions League final, Reece James actually defensively was
Yeah. I think he's better
Him and-
defensively than Trent.
him and Thiago Silva at one until Silva came off.
I actually think
Rock solid.
he's better defensively than
Absolutely.
Trent. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So TK says, "Hi lads, World Cup podcast HFD never cease to amaze me. Bravo, thank you, TK." Johnny says Southgate's trash. Donny McCree says, "Did I miss the Italian game?" You did. They'll have it.
Scusi.
And then Chris says, "Italy is like Greece now."
That's low.
Bit of a
That's low. Sorry, how many World Cups has Greece won? Anyway.
Well, you know the old joke. Greece can't be good at soccer because every time they get a corner, they put a fish on it. Always love that one. Always love that one.
That's a
But-
classic.
So yeah, listen, I would take both. That's the one position England are just. I mean, because if you consider Kyle Walker a fullback, they got Walker, James, Trent.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good pick.
Yeah.
I'll be happy. With
And
that.
the thing is, when a game is stifling and you can't get chances and what have you, the free kick specialist,
Yeah,
you
definitely.
have to have one in the squad.
And on the other side, again, he hasn't been playing well for United, but Shaw plays good for England. I mean, he scored in the Euro
Yep.
final. He scored last international break, didn't he?
Yep. I
So
like
he
him.
does well. Yeah, he does well. But I mean, England always think they're going to win the tournament. Listen, the way I see England is they get through their group, and then once they come up against a good coach or a good team, they get done. That's how I see it. That's.
You know,
But I mean, they're going to get out the group. I think that's for sure.
But the thing is, they're on the same side as France and Belgium, and if
I think Belgium, France both beat them.
right
If they're on.
if they win their group, you've got up the seeded teams. You've got France, Portugal, Belgium, England.
I mean,
to get to a semi-final and a final.
Mate, and Lukaku, he lives for his country.
England will
like-
not get past.
No way. No. Oh,
I can't see it.
But I mean, we've both agreed on who we think's getting out of that one. So
Yep.
the next one,
Now, this is where I think every World Cup, in the preliminary rounds, there's one team that scores at least 5.
it's happening here.
Every World Cup.
Oh, it's happening here.
Right.
Didn't these? Don't they hold the record? They conceded 10, didn't they? This team, Saudi Arabia,
8.
8 was it? Oh,
No.
against Germany.
Only 8.
Only 8.
El Salvador conceded.
Is that
10.
why? Is that why Closer he gets to say he's the all-time leading scorer in?
He scored a hat trick that game.
Yeah, he's got a hat trick. Imagine R9 got to play against them that year. He would have. His tally
It was so.
Yeah, I remember the game. It was
Hungary beat El Salvador 10-1.
10-1. There you go. Yeah.
And Yugoslavia beat Zaire
Oh,
9-0.
And listen, I'll tell you what.
So I think this and Lewandowski against Saudi
Exactly.
Arabia, mate.
And I'll tell you what, he hasn't had a good year. But the past month for PSG, he's been good. And he's been good for Argentina still. Messi.
Yeah, and you know, Di
He's
Maria
good. Yeah,
steps
exactly.
up.
Yep. Yeah.
He has really stepped up again.
I mean, and you know, on him, you know, apparently he broke a record. He's had the worst year, but apparently he became the first player in a season in France to get more than 3 assists in more than one game. He's done it 3 times, I think, Messi. So he's obviously a playmaker. He knows how to create. So
Could say the same for Zlatan.
yeah, well, I mean, like I said, he still lives for his country, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's his last chance to win a cup too. So he's going to be.
And this World Cup, I think, is not one of the best Mexico teams that have been around.
Nah, definitely not, yeah.
I think it's not a good Mexico team. I think this one is pretty clear cut.
Argentina, Poland, you
Yeah.
reckon? Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
And I think there's going to be a 5-goal
Oh,
plus
there's
game.
going to be some crackers in that one.
I mean,
goal
I
wise.
mean, Argentina beat Serbia Montenegro 6-0, remember?
Yeah.
Messi scored that game
Yeah.
in 2006.
Oh, listen, he lifts for his country. I mean, it's hard to say he doesn't lift for everywhere he plays. So he's performed at a high level.
But they've always got this Dybala issue as well.
Dybala, I mean, he'll be in the squad, won't he?
Yeah, he'll be there. He'll be there. I don't know.
He's out of see. Listen, he's out of contract this year, so he might be leaving Juventus. He might go somewhere and play a lot more.
He'll want some game time.
Yeah, so you know, it's
Yeah.
I agree. That one's pretty clear cut. That one. The next one.
Now,
So the next one's France.
Australia.
France. I see playoff Denmark, Tunisia. What were Tunisia like in the African Cup? You kept
Not good.
Not good.
They were not good. They struggled against Mali.
I mean, listen, they got a player that starts for them in the centre midfield that plays for United, and he's never played a first team game yet, Hannibal. So it sort of shows you where their squad's at, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm not a. This Tunisia team. There has been better Tunisia teams in the past. I think they're going to finish bottom of the group quite easily. I think Peru are going to get that playoff spot.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's not Australia not getting it. Well, it's true. Are Australia in all seriousness even going to get past UAE? It's not a given, is it?
No, no, they're going to struggle. The playoff is in Qatar, which is next door to UAE.
Exactly.
No, I think I think the UAE are going to win that.
Well, you know what? I've said it, and we've spoke about it. That the FA, or the FFA, as they're called here, they've only got themselves to blame for rehiring a coach that failed once miserably already. I mean, he failed miserably already, Arnold.
Yeah.
And they gave him the job again. Like, what were they think? I mean, what are the powers to be of the FFA thinking to give him the job again? It bemuses me.
I gave up trying to understand their.
Oh, it's just obviously from a fan point of view, it just
years ago.
It mind boggles you.
It
We're
does.
like,
The coaches that are out there, the available
go
coaches.
give some money like you did last time. Get a competent coach. You know,
You even say the Sampaoli, the Chilean,
whatever.
or
Yeah,
whoever.
yeah. And I mean, he was putting his hand up by all accounts for the job too. So
At the time he was.
yeah. Oh, it's just
So
they got their own. We're our own worst enemy. We've got to put it that way. I mean, but
we haven't got a good squad.
we do not. We don't. But
No one's playing in a Premier League. Oh, hang on, one.
no. Well, Matt Ryan left.
Matt's
He
in
Brian
Spain.
went to Spain. Moy left. He was in. I think they were the guy at Villa. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's left.
Harry Sucher's in the Championship, and some Premier Leagues are
Yeah,
looking at
okay.
it.
So I mean, that's a far cry from some of our better teams, isn't it? When you go back to Kuhl, Viduka, Cahill, all Craig, even other ones like
Emerton, Grella,
Tony Vidmar was over there. Yeah. Bresciano was playing Serie A.
Lucas Neal. But,
Yeah.
So all those players.
Yeah,
Yeah, Chipperfield was playing.
Yeah, just the Premier League. I think you said was Emerton,
Cahill.
Kuhl, Viduka, Cahill, Schwarzer,
Yeah,
Vidmar.
yeah.
Aloisi was playing in Spain at the time.
And Bresciano.
Bresciano was
in
in Serie A, and Palermo doing well at the time when he was playing for them.
And yet, who's the most promising player? I can't remember his name. Mourinho put him on. 18-year-old for Roma, Aussie boy. 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, the one that they're trying to get him, aren't they? Italy, Jewel. I mean, they had the one that was at City. He was meant to be promising. He's gone, but he's had knee injuries, hasn't he, Arzani?
Yeah.
His knees have just let him down, haven't they? Like he's had 2 recoms, I think, and he's 20. That's, I mean,
It happens.
yeah, it's just I feel for him because it's what if you've had them at that age, you're in trouble. I think like he's going to struggle.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. I don't think we'd get past UAE.
I'm going to throw a spanner in the works, and I'm going to say Denmark are going to top this group over France.
I'll tell you what, they got Ericsson back, don't they? Which is a big thing for them. He captained the other day and scored in the stadium that he collapsed in.
He did,
And he's scoring for Brentford.
and he's lifting them.
I'll tell you what, they're talking about it at the moment. If I was a big club, they could go get him for nothing at the moment because he's only on a year contract. I'd be in for him. If I was United, I'd be in for him. He could, I mean...
It's a bit like getting, and I put this in different circumstances, Philippe Coutinho.
Yeah.
Out of
Yeah.
favour.
Yeah.
It's been a great signing.
It was like back, I don't know, whatever, like 15 years ago when Ferguson brought Larson in.
Yeah.
Needed a striker.
Yeah.
Come in, did the job, didn't he? I'd go for Ericsson. And the talks that Conte wants him back at Tottenham because he knows he loves Tottenham. He was there.
Conte going to hang around.
Well, I'll tell you what, the way they're going, I think he will because he's going to get them what they want. So, but yeah, I mean, it's them too, isn't it, France?
It is, and I think Denmark are going to have it over on France, even if it's only on goal difference.
So let's say even if they top the group, though, do you think they go further in the tournament, though?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
during the qualifiers, I think Denmark scored something like 30 odd goals and
Yep.
conceded 4.
I think strong. They're always strong.
So I just overall, I just like them, and I think I don't want to say World Cup curses on previous winners, but Senegal beat France.
So yes. So here's a question for you: Has from the career you thought he would have to the career he's had, Kasper Schmeichel? Remember when we first saw him? It was like we thought it was, and then he's actually. I mean, he's actually had a pretty good. I mean, I'm saying that he's a decent keeper, isn't he? Like, so
He is a decent keeper. He's not as good as.
No, he's not as good as his dad. He's never going to be. I don't think he's ever going to be.
But
But
he is a decent keeper.
I mean, like from what we first saw of him at City back, whatever it was, with like this, he's getting in there just because of his dad. But he's actually done well. I mean, he's won a Premier League title, and he's pretty good. So I mean, they got him, like we said, they got Eriksen, they got some.
I think he lifts his team.
Yeah, he does.
Game when
He does. He's
makes
very.
Denmark.
Yeah. So I mean, they got some. France. The only thing I say about France is, I mean, they won the World Cup without Benzema.
With a younger team.
Yeah, and I mean, they got Benzema coming in, who's in. Is he going to keep that form all the way till
I
December?
know, and basically they've got the same team. There's every indication that they should go
Oh,
all the way to the final.
I mean,
but
the only thing different is maybe Matuidi's not there. But I mean, you know, they got Pogba, Kante still, which is any coach kill for that to have that in midfield. Those two, and like I said, they got Benzema.
Kante and
Dembele is playing out of his skin at the moment for Barca.
Yeah.
And I think he got injured early when they won it, and he's at the moment not getting injured. And
Varane will be fine.
Varane, yep. So they got.
I think Hugo Lloris has always got a mistake in him.
Yeah, but yeah.
And it may come at the wrong time.
And they got a few other ones like Awar. I think he's coming through. Like they got some younger ones too. So yeah, there is. I mean, they're going to be one of the favourites, aren't they? When it comes to bookies wise.
So I'm thinking Denmark will top the group, which means a second round Argentina-France game.
That would be massive, wouldn't it, for a second round?
They're playing each other again. That would be the second time in a row.
Yep.
Last game was 4-3.
They didn't have a good Euros though, did they? France.
No.
So
No.
is
Euros it's funny, isn't it? That someone can...
I think it was. I think it's Maldini who said it. He goes, Euros are harder to win than the World Cup. Which, you think about it in your head. It's like, so. But, I mean, they're going to be, like I said, they'll be one of the favourites with the bookies, but.
They will.
But like I said, is Deschamps, is this him done with France after this?
I think it is, and I think Zidane will step in.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Whether he wins or not, I think he'll be done.
Unless somehow PSG gets Zidane or something. I think he's waiting for the France.
I think he's waiting.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
When Zidane was even in a movie with Michael Schumacher.
Was he?
Asterix and Obelix.
Really? So, are Deschamps and Beckenbauer, are they the only two?
Nope, there's one more.
To captain and
to captain.
to win it as captain and a coach.
Captain.
Because I know Deschamps captain.
Mario Zagallo for Brazil was player, and he won as a player, won as a coach. I don't think he was captain.
So Beckenbauer was captain, coach.
Yeah.
Deschamps was captain, coach.
Just those two.
So it's a prestigious
and
company.
Zagallo said, well, players that have won the World Cup as a player and a coach, there's only 3 of them.
There you go. So them 3.
Yeah.
Deschamps, Beckenbauer, and Zagallo.
Yeah.
Maradona tried.
He did. 2010.
He tried. He put his hand up. I mean,
Germany beat them 4-0.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Well,
Oops.
Group E.
Group E.
I think this is the hard group. Is this the group of death? There's always a group of death in there.
People are arguing that Group H is a group of death, but and some people are arguing Group G is a group of death. I don't know.
Group H, yeah. Look,
the players.
this definitely looks hard on paper.
Look, Japan, I reckon, have learned a lot from that loss against Belgium last time round. This and the IC playoff 2 spot is Costa Rica or New Zealand. I think they're in for a hiding to nothing.
Yeah.
Whoever gets in.
Yeah, I agree.
I do favour Costa Rica.
Listen,
just too much quality.
I agree. You can't count. I know on paper it's Spain, Germany, but you can't. I don't think you can count Japan. Have got a good chance of kicking Spain out. I think. Yeah.
I think they do.
Yeah, Germany.
I'm actually backing Japan to finish second. and actually knocking Spain out.
Well, because Spain, I mean, they got an aging squad. We were saying it before. They don't really have a. They went from having guys like Villa, Torres. I mean, they don't. They play the other Torres up front. He's not a forward.
Varane, no.
Yeah, he's a winger, isn't he? He's a winger. Who's at City? I'm not saying he's a bad player, but he's not a centre forward. They got Morata, who always struggles. He just. I don't know how the guy's been a striker for so long when he doesn't know where the goals are. And Japan are always pretty good team.
I think Japan are match World Cup savvy.
Yeah.
They know they will probably sit back, especially both against Germany and Spain. I think they'll sit back generally, but they know how to pick their moment.
I mean, and Germany now, Flick, I mean, he's a treble winner as a coach. Like, he's obviously a good coach. So
they've got a good squad again.
Yeah, they do.
They had a good squad last time.
Yeah.
I think Gnabry will make a difference. I think.
I mean, Havertz is a great player at Chelsea. Werner, I don't know if he's not playing.
He's still misfiring.
He's misfiring, but I mean, Havertz is a good player. But Rudiger.
Werner is quick though.
Oh, he's lightning. Yeah.
He is super.
I mean, quick. They got plethora of goalkeepers. They got Neuer, Ter Stegen. Well, they got Leno. So I don't know who plays at the back. Who plays at the back with Rudiger there for them? Does Hummels still play? Doesn't really play, does he? Or he's one of their keepers. We're saying. I don't know if he gets in the squad, Leno, but yeah, they got like Rudiger at the back. Oh, so we have someone who plays at the back for Bayern. I mean, I know they got Alaba and Hummels. Maybe I'm not sure. He's a bit slow now.
I mean, Kimmich they can use.
Kimmich,
got a good team, don't they? Use around either midfield, and he has played fullback before as well.
Will Royce actually get to play in a major tournament?
He played and scored in the last one.
And that was the first time he was always kept getting injured, didn't he?
Kept getting injured. I think he's on a mission.
He's a good player.
Yeah, he is.
He's a very good player.
So
so you say, I mean, Gnabry, Sane. They got Leroy.
I love Leroy Sane.
If it was my team when they got, I would have been so upset when they got rid of him. You know, big talks about him. They were always saying when he was at City, or even himself, he compared him to himself. They're comparing him to Giggs, the way he played. And Giggs said it, he goes, it reminds me so much of me because he's direct. Just go for the jugular, take you on.
But and the thing is, he was successful a lot.
Yeah.
The one-on-ones, and they teach this in Europe to be able to get past the player one-on-one.
Yeah, of course.
And in coaching here in this country is pass.
Yeah.
But you're always going to get caught one-on-one at some point.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I agree. Well, I always say, even you're a winger, if you've got the fullback isolated, even if you lose it doesn't matter if you lose it 3 or 4 times. Take him on because
that's right. You pass him twice a half.
Yeah, that's right. So,
you know what it's like. Long ball switch, one-on-one, and anything can happen.
Jimmy says, Father Jim says, hey everyone, just coming from a service. Bless the Socceroos. May they sack Arnold. So,
can you bless this podcast?
Yeah, that's
Father
it.
Jim, please.
That's it.
Bless this podcast.
Yeah,
Your Eminence.
Bless our podcast. That's all we want.
Yes, Your Eminence. Here we go. I've got the chat up now. In Ange we trust.
Ange we trust. Yeah, Dino says. So I mean, listen, the Australia fans going back to that. No, we got away from Australia. They pretty much wanted him gone. He turned around and said, "All right, I'll leave then," and it's been a lot worse without Ange, hasn't it? Australia. I mean, he won us a major. I mean, he's the only person that can say that he won Australia a major tournament.
He did.
I mean, and he's always done well. He won. Didn't he make the final of the under the Joeys? He got them to a semi-final or something when he was the Joeys coach.
I think it was a semi-final. It was final.
So one of my friends actually played. I played with him. Nick Crosley was keeper. He was in the squad, and they got kicked out. They lost to Nigeria, who ended up winning it.
Yep.
And he always says to me, he goes, we still talk now. He goes, you know who scored 2 goals against me? He goes, John Obi Mikel. Kicked them. I think it was semi-final. Kicked Australia out. So I mean, he has a good record with.
And the thing is, he managed to change his philosophy. Not change his philosophy, but he managed to coach in a foreign country.
Yeah.
On a language
Yeah.
not his own, and that's hard to do for players to understand exactly what you want.
He's pretty much,
Because he won the Japanese.
I mean, listen, he's not Mourinho or anything, but he's like him that he's won everywhere he's gone, hasn't he?
Yep.
He's won a trophy.
Yep.
So he won a trophy with Australia. He won with Brisbane Roar, which is the A-League. He ripped it with them, and then he won with Melbourne Victory.
Yep. Japan.
He won in Japan. He had one of the best teams, they were saying, for a long time.
Yep.
And he's most probably going to win something with Celtic.
It's likely. I mean,
So-
they're right up there.
And if not this year, he'll probably win something. He'll
Yeah.
stay there and he'll do.
Yeah, I think so.
So
It's a big.
But you
I'll
keep forgetting that he was asked to step down.
we just said that.
Yeah,
We're not
but-
forgetting. So he did it.
But you know who asked him to step down?
Who?
Our next Australian player, who was a commentator.
Probably.
Oh,
Yeah.
Probably.
that
Doesn't
makes sense.
surprise me.
No, it doesn't
Have you
surprise me
seen-
either.
have you
You're
seen
talking about
the
Craig
video?
Craig Foster.
Exactly.
Fozzie.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
surprise me. I don't know how that
Right.
guy. But yeah, so Jimmy says Greece miss out on the World Cup because he's saying our joke, the fish and chip shop joke. We already said that, Jimmy.
See,
He says Arnold's coaching puts him to sleep. We have no chance.
correct. We have no chance.
TK says Socceroos very sad. We are in a huge hole. Can't you see us getting through 4 years in the wilderness coming up? It's because of what me and Rob said before. Our squad is just listen. We had a golden generation.
Yeah.
We did. I mean, like we were saying that Schwarzer was at the time, and I mean, and you had Bosnich with him at the start as well. Two excellent keepers.
Yeah.
Bosnich won Premier League, and Schwarzer was the top keeper in the league. Kuehl at one stage was probably the best player in the Premier League.
and was being courted and hunted by the club.
So he was probably Viduka was excellent player, Premier League player. Bresciano was amazing. Cahill, excellent Premier League player.
Bremerton,
Brett Emerton,
was
very good player in
been-
the Eredivisie and the Premier League.
Yeah.
So, I mean, our team is just nothing compared to that. It's just
No, they're
the
all.
talent pool is just
It's another level or two down.
yeah, definitely.
So what do you expect? That's
When
what
do you
you're gonna
think-
get.
It's like I remember when they were saying it, going back to Arzani, they're like, "Oh, he's our next big thing," and I was thinking in my head, I was like, "Him, if you compare him to Q at that age, it shows you where we are."
Yeah.
because he's nothing compared to him.
I remember we're
You
at the MCG. This is Kuehl at 17 against Iran,
Yeah.
and he got the ball, and you're on your feet.
Oh well, I actually have it. I can tell a story.
On your feet.
I
It's so exciting.
one of my coaches, Chris Trajanovsky, was in that World Cup squad. And he said to me, I always used to ask him about it. He goes, listen, he goes, Kuehl was 17. He goes, I think Viduka was 19. He goes, they made us look like Sunday League players. And this is coming from a guy that's playing for his national team. And when I played with Chris was probably 40. He was unbelievable. He had like you didn't know what foot he was. He was and for him to say that about these two, you think, geez, where were they? Like, so I mean, big problem. We're not introducing players up. Yeah, that's what we're saying. Yeah, 100%.
absolutely.
Totally agree. It's just either they're playing other sports or they're just not as. Yeah, the talent's not coming through at the moment. It's
TK, no Socceroos playing in the top 27,000 leagues, I reckon.
yeah, definitely not the
Let
top
alone
4 leagues.
four.
Well, we went through that before. I mean,
Second divisions,
we said I think Matt Ryan's in. Is he in Spain? Is he in the top division in Spain? I think that's the
Yeah.
only one I can think of off the top of my head. Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
I mean, and like, listen, I'm not saying he's a bad keeper. Like I said, you compare Matt Ryan to Bozza or Schwarzer.
Well, what happened to the second goal against Japan?
Yeah, like he's.
It just reminds me of Spider.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean,
4 Rolex watches later.
but
Um,
so you said you're saying Germany, Japan.
I'm saying Germany, Japan.
Actually, I'm going to go with you. I don't think
No.
Spain going to get out of that.
I don't think they got the legs,
Nah, I agree. A very aging squad.
and I think Japan are just going to be smarter.
Yeah. The next one's an interesting group.
Group F: Belgium, Canada, Morocco, Croatia.
So, do you think Canada do better than their neighbours?
Cuck will see everybody.
Do you think Canada do better than their neighbours? That'd be like when New Zealand did
Without-
better than Australia. and
Without
they-
a doubt.
and they were
New
paying
Zealand
us out.
undefeated.
You remember when they were just paying us out because so. I think I won money that year because I had money. I put them to draw against
Oh.
Italy, and it was paying 10-1. I don't know why I did it.
Against New Zealand.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just
You know, drew me game.
yeah, I don't know. It was
Dario, I reckon that was Dario Serna. Dino got 3 yellow cards
yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
2006. I reckon
With
it was
Graham
Dar-
Pole, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was Dario Serna.
Yeah, Graham Pole. I mean, he's just remembered for that forever, isn't he? Graham Pole.
Yeah, have another one. Have another one. Yeah, have another one.
Yeah. So Croatia,
It's an aging squad. I don't,
it is
yeah,
an aging squad.
I mean, World Cup finalists, it's fine.
Yeah, but I mean, it's pretty much the same team, I reckon. I don't.
Well, no Mandzukic. I mean, Rebic is okay. Or good, even. Sorry. Sorry, Ante Rebic. But just 4 years is a lot of difference.
What were Morocco like in the African nations?
You know, they were unlucky last time.
Okay.
Because they had Portugal and Spain in their group and Iran, I think.
You
And
looking
they
at
came this close.
looking at those teams. I know he's not playing well for his club at the moment, but they just look like teams that, like Lukaku, will beat up on, because he does that for his national team. Belgium are catered to him.
Yeah.
They play to his strength, and that's why he's their all-time leading goal scorer. You know, and he's not even 30. I don't know.
Remember when Romario played for Adelaide United?
Yeah.
So what did we do? We gave him long high balls.
Yeah, yeah. But they do everything for Lukaku, and they just look like teams that he'll beat up on, I think. I mean, and De Bruyne is flying at the moment. Like,
Look, Tielemans in midfield is another mixed
then,
bag.
I mean, last time out, Hazard was playing well. He's not playing well.
No,
he's not
but
even playing at the moment. So.
his brother's okay.
They reckon there's big talk that they might. Dortmund are trying to get.
Talking Hazard.
Not trying to get Eden Hazard.
Oh,
Yeah. So I mean, that could help him go play somewhere.
Maybe.
So
maybe. The Belgian defence is a bit older and
Yeah,
slower.
yeah.
That's the only thing.
see, they had going back 4 or 5 years ago. They had a plethora of. They had Alvaro Vertonghen company.
And you know what? Vincent Company has made such an impact on that team.
Oh, yeah.
What did
Yeah,
you?
yeah, yeah. I mean, they had Alvaro
Japan.
Vertonghen. They're playing together at club level too.
Yeah.
So
Yes. So you think about
they've got a
Jonathan.
good keeper. Belgium.
Outstanding goal.
They got a very good keeper. So
Outstanding. Courtois is amazing. But I still like Mignolet as well.
yeah, they got a good.
But Canada's front two,
David?
Jonathan
Yeah, yeah.
David and what's his name? What's the other ones?
TK reckons Belgium will take out the group. I agree, man.
Yeah, I do. There just could be an upset. Oh, Alphonso Davies.
He's excellent player.
Those two are quick. I don't think the Croatian defence will handle them.
Yeah, no.
I don't think the Moroccan
I mean,
defence will handle them.
he plays, week in, week out for Bayern. and-
Belgium might be a bit too smart, a bit too savvy, but Belgium, Canada.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Actually,
Belgium,
yeah,
Canada.
I think Croatia, a bit like Spain, are a bit over the hill. They're just, it's like we said about Spain. Like, it's okay, you have one or two of those experience, but you need some legs, don't you? For a tournament, you need.
You do. The thing is, they're playing and this World Cup, they're playing every 4 games, not every 5.
Yeah,
So, and obviously there's no travel involved, which
yeah,
helps
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
But I still think that Croatia are going to struggle this time. And look, Morocco could end up jagging second. I'm not. No offense to Morocco, because there are always upsets.
There is.
The seeded teams of the Netherlands, England, Argentina, France, Spain, Belgium, Brazil, Portugal. One of them will miss out. It happens every time.
Yeah, of course.
It's up to you to pick which one it's going to
Yeah,
be.
of course.
So Belgium, Canada, which means you're talking possibly a Japan, Belgium rematch, Germany, Canada. So anything can happen.
Jeez. It's some good games.
Yeah,
World Cup,
yeah.
though, isn't there?
Love it. That's what it's about. That's what
I
it's
agree,
about.
actually. I think Belgium, Canada. Next group is the way they've been. So it's Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, Cameroon. The way they've gone through qualifying Brazil,
Hard to not back them.
I was watching this thing the other day and they're saying, they've moved on from relying on Neymar. Now their main man is Vinicius.
Yeah.
He's just,
Junior. Look,
I mean, they got Casemiro plays for Madrid.
yeah,
They
he's
got
getting older though.
yeah, he is. But like we said, they got two excellent goalkeepers. So
Yeah, see and Thiago Silva, I'd still take him.
yeah,
along.
I'd take him. I'd take
I
him.
would still take
Yeah.
him because I reckon he's almost
Yeah, I'd take him.
a Sherrod Baresi type. That
Yeah, I'd take him.
he will get them organised.
I mean, when was the last time Brazil did it? They shut in a qualifying like that.
They've
I mean,
always got out of the group.
They always, yeah.
They've always got out of the group.
No, but I mean, they're qualifying. When was the last time they blitzed it like that? I mean, they've done. Because I know there's been times, they've obviously finished top, but there's been times. This time they've
they blitzed
really
because
blitzed it.
and here's the funny thing. There's still one. FIFA is still insisting that Brazil and Argentina play their cancelled World Cup qualifier.
That was the one when they got them to go there, and then because of the pandemic.
6 minutes in, someone said, "No, you guys are coming."
They're ridiculous.
Australia have put their hand up to actually host this match between Brazil and Argentina.
Okay.
No travel restrictions are fine. Come on over.
Yep.
It's a dead rubber anyway. Come out in the sunshine, whatever. In June.
But I mean, because they're both first, it's ridiculous they're making them play it. Like it's just their first, second, they're ready.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
they made it with 3 games to spare.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't remember them doing that for a long time.
No, both of those have blitzed.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Oh, listen, I think the South American teams, because of the heat thing, I think the South American teams are going to do well this time.
Better. Yeah, good point.
Because they're used to the
Good point.
The heat and same with the African teams. Like they got to be.
Look, Brazil every day was 35 degrees.
Yeah.
And 80-90% humidity. That gets
So,
to you every 4
Is this Brazil squad better than the last World Cup one? Similar, but I mean, like we said, Vinicius is in.
I think it's better.
Yeah.
I think it's better. If Philip Coutinho rises as well, he's another
I mean, they take
great option. Richarlison probably.
Richarlison, Firmino.
I'd take Robbie Firmino.
Yep. Is the one from Ajax? Is Brazilian in he?
Hello.
No, Anthony.
Anthony, yes, he is.
So I mean,
He's your winger.
yeah. So I mean, so if you're playing Anthony, Vinicius, and Neymar,
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
Yes.
Regardless of what anyone wants to
Yes.
say about Neymar, that's pretty
No,
frightening.
that is pretty frightening.
You would pretty much play that 3, I think, and then you got Richarlison off the bench who gets himself about. And
What I like about Vinicius and
Canada dark horse, Jimmy's
No.
saying, nah.
no, Father Jim.
Socceroos need
No.
Tim Cahill, Harry Q, and Mark Schwartz are back. And then TK says RG's to win, Messi to fulfill the pro. You know what? I actually think
TK, you might be right.
I know we're going to get to it next group.
Yeah.
I think both of them, the age-old debate, have got a
Yeah.
real good chance.
They do.
Ronaldo and Messi.
And then in opposite sides of the draw if they top their
Yeah, that's
their
why I
group.
think.
So
Yeah. So I mean, listen, this group, I'm saying Brazil top.
Second is a debate that if you ask 10 people, you might get 3, 4.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, I agree.
It's that even
Yeah.
Cameroon.
See, Switzerland get up sometimes for their. I mean, they still got Shaqiri playing. They got some.
I know, and I remember this for a fact. Switzerland were a pretty good team in 2014.
Yeah.
France beat them 5-2.
There you go.
It's just weird. They're just weird sometimes.
Cameroon. I mean,
I like Serbia.
yeah, I agree. Yeah.
They top their group in Europe. They've got some wonderful creativity.
Yeah.
They're a bit more steely in defence this time. I'm back in Brazil, Serbia.
Oh, so you're saying about mate. You know how everyone was saying about the African teams. I think it's safe to say if Yugoslavia didn't split, they would have won a tournament by now.
Oh, they would have.
They probably would have won the year they got kicked out when Denmark won it. I reckon
Yeah.
yeah. Because I mean, like I said I've played with some Yugoslavian players like that. I mean, they have the ball on a string, like just so talented. Like we've seen them. They're just.
Do you think the best teams out of Macedonia, Slovenia, Croatia, Serbia, Montenegro?
Man.
Just seriously.
Yeah. I reckon Brazil, Serbia too. I agree with that.
The Brazil-Serbia game will be interesting. I think
Be a good
Serbia are
game.
going to take it up to them.
Yeah, I think they will.
They're
Yeah.
going to have a go.
When do they play? Where's Brazil, Serbia?
So first game.
Oh, yep. Okay.
First game, isn't it?
Yep, it is. Yep, which is the 24th of November.
What
Brazil,
time?
Serbia. It's the second bracket.
Well, that's late, so that's about 5 in the morning.
Okay, but that's sort of good. You could just
Not
get
bad.
up and
What day is it?
you know it's 24th
Thursday.
Thursday. You know it's
Yeah.
interesting seeing it.
Friday morning.
The World Cup final is 7 days before Christmas.
Yeah.
Far out.
Yeah. Take your Christmas holidays early.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that'll be a good game first up, wouldn't it? Brazil, Serbia. Yeah, I agree. That's. Oh, well, so we're the next group. So we touched on this a bit already, or I did anyway, because I actually think Ronaldo's got a good. Portugal's squad, I know they didn't qualify directly, but their squad is. And they seem to do good in tournaments, don't they?
They won 2016
Yeah.
Euro. So it's not.
I mean,
Italy just had their measure last, which is I think
when we went through their squad, they got a good keeper, Patricio, playing at Roma.
Yeah.
Obviously, they got Ronaldo, who scores goals. He scored 20 goals this year for a team that doesn't know how to score a goal.
Yeah.
So he scores. They got Bruno Fernandes, who
who
pretty
does
much
Jota play?
Jota plays for Liverpool, and he's blitzing at the moment.
He's-
So they got So you say Jota, Ronaldo, Bruno up top is pretty good.
yeah.
They got Neves in the midfield,
Yeah.
Moutinho, and they play together for Wolves.
This is what I mean. You've already got these players that play together. You've
Yeah.
got Ruben Diaz and
Ruben Diaz, Cancelo,
Cancelo.
Pepe.
they all,
I mean, Pepe's getting older, but it's still you got a Champions League winner there, Ruben Diaz,
and
you know,
Cancelo play
and
together.
Cancelo, arguably the best fullback and best centre back in the league of the past.
I had a
year.
look one day. I think Portugal have something like 15 to 20 players in the English Premier League.
Yeah, they do.
Unlike-
There's heaps of them, heaps of them. So yeah, because they got a couple more. Because obviously Wolves, they had Nuno was coaching him. He was
Yeah.
Portuguese. And now the guy that's taken over was the ex-Benfica coach, Bruno Lage.
Yeah.
He's got Pedro Neto, who's a winger there, who's really good, and Trincao, I think.
Yeah.
So another two wingers that they'll take. Yeah, their squad is pretty stacked. So
it's
I think it comes down to if their coach is good enough.
yeah, who knows how to
When,
prepare the
when
team.
they won the Euros, you know, the memes out there, Ronaldo was on sideline coaching. So, you know,
it could be down to the coach.
yeah.
And especially reacting when the game doesn't
Yeah.
go their way.
And you know what the thing is? I say this like Ronaldo fans, Messi fans, whatever. I reckon Ronaldo has been doubted at the past 3 major tournaments, and he delivers at the major tournaments.
Well, he scored a hat trick against Spain.
Yeah, yep.
3-all.
He delivers that, mate.
I fell off my chair when
He
he scored
went-
a free kick.
Well, he went from being at United. He used to be a volume player, scoring goals, but he struggled in the big games.
Yep.
He went to Madrid, and he became a big game player. Started scoring in Champions League finals, Euro. You know, he delivers.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's a hard group too. Uruguay, I mean, they're aging, aren't they? Suarez, Cavani, they're getting old, but Cavani can't play for United, but he always plays for.
Diego Godin is also.
Godin is getting old. I mean, but
I mean, they still use Maxi Pereira.
yeah,
too.
but I mean, they'll give teams trouble.
They
They're
will,
there.
but
Where did they finish in South America? They finished fourth.
they finished fourth. Yeah, Ecuador finished above them.
Portugal not to make it through the group. See, John's going straight.
Oh,
I
Johnny.
I don't think so. I think they're a real good chance. Scaloni got them humming, right mix of youth.
Big call. I agree.
See,
with
I
big
agree.
call.
Yeah,
That's a big call.
and I agree with what he's saying. He's got them humming, right mix of youth and experience.
Yeah.
That's what I think. They're
They will have learned from the Euros as
Yeah.
well, and even through going through this qualifying.
I mean, they've even got
The
that
pro-
young midfielder. We didn't mention him. He won the golden ball, the one or the whatever it is for the Renato Sanchez.
yes.
So you know he's there.
And they just went through this playoff, and sometimes going through a cutthroat,
Yeah.
you must win game, and they went
Yeah.
through that twice.
I mean, and Bruno Fernandes, he hasn't been playing that well for United, but he stood up. He scored 2 goals, 2 nice goals too. So
I fancy them. I really do.
yeah, I do.
But it'd be funny if Brazil don't finish top, you end up with or if Portugal don't finish top, you end up with a
finish second
Brazil
to Portugal.
Portugal.
Well, you know why I fancy them as well. And the same I was saying about Argentina, Brazil, like they've got goal scorers. Whereas we said Spain, they don't really have any goal
No.
scorers. So Portugal got Jota, Ronaldo, Fernandes. They're stat merchants.
Yeah.
They get goals.
Yeah,
So.
and I think even the Netherlands have got more goals scored.
Yeah, like I said, Depay's stood up. He's come of age and
But
replaced
then
the
you've
player.
got Belgium who don't rely on. I mean, even
Yeah.
Dries Mertens is
Yep.
getting older as
Yep.
well.
But I mean,
So
they got De Bruyne. He's,
Yeah.
I mean, what is he? 30? He's in the form of his life at the moment. He's ripping it.
So big call for me. I'm going to go, and I apologise to any African fans out there. I'm going to go Portugal, Korea.
Portugal, Korea.
Yep. Yep.
I'm going to go with chat. I'm going to go Portugal, Ghana.
Lock it in, Eddie.
Lock it in, Eddie. You know what we're saying as well? I was just thinking about it then. So, I mean, France have got Benzema, we said. England have got Harry Kane.
Yeah. Argentina
got Messi, Di Maria.
Yeah.
Belgium got Lukaku. Portugal got Ronaldo. Brazil got, like we said, for me, they got goal scorers.
Yes.
Neymar.
Yeah.
You know, there's some big players in there.
Yeah.
And I think I said that thing to you. There's a big list of players that's going to be big names. That's their last tournament, isn't it?
It is. I had a bit of a look.
It was about 12 or 13 of them, wasn't
There's
there?
lots and lots of players. Even
Definitely Ronaldo, Messi. Then probably not playing in another.
Ronaldo, Messi. You've got
Di Maria, Suarez, Cavani,
Cavani.
Modric.
It might even be Neymar's list.
Yeah,
last
could be.
tournament, you know.
Could be.
Thiago Silva.
Thiago Silva, Modric.
Modric. There's some big names.
Is Cruz playing for Germany? Could be probably his last tournament.
Oh, Tony Kroos, absolutely.
Yeah, it'd be his last tournament.
And,
There'll be a few. Muller.
Thomas Muller.
There'll be a few of them.
It'll be.
You know, I still remember when
Memphis Depay.
those guys came through in Joachim Low's
Yeah.
first team.
Yeah.
You know, Ozil, Muller, Cruz, and everyone was losing it. And then they obviously won the next one, but and they're still going. Can he break Klose's record this tournament?
No, he hasn't got enough goals.
No.
About,
He had the first two he was in. He scored.
He was
scoring for fun.
4 or 5. Because in 2010 he was the equal top scorer with only 5 goals.
Yeah.
He hasn't scored that
okay.
many. He'd have to score about 9, which I don't think he's got it in him.
Nah, I don't know how many.
But then again,
See Ronaldo.
hammer.
I don't know how many he's got in World Cup. Could he break Klose's record? Ronaldo.
I looked this up. He's only got
Doesn't have too many.
6. I think 6 or 7. It wasn't a lot.
I think Kane is about the same. He's got 6 or 7, and it probably
No, he's got 6.
See, will it be his last tournament? And he's 30. I think he's 29, 30.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't really rely on his pace, so maybe he plays
Maybe he plays
a Euro,
even off the bench at least.
and maybe another World Cup. Maybe.
Maybe. The next World Cup's in Canada, US, Mexico.
That'll be good.
So Canada are going to make 2 World Cups in a row.
For sure.
Italians can't say that.
That'd actually be a good one.
Funny.
He's taking the mickey of his own.
Oh dear.
Johnny says Benzema to win Golden Boot.
France. You know what? If someone,
I won money on Griezmann when he won the Golden Boot.
I want money on Davor Schuken.
Oh, that would have been a good one. That was 98.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there were some big forwards then.
Yeah.
Like this Ronaldo, Owen, even. Like there was
Owen, Henry was there at 98.
Were there any big Argentinian ones at the time?
Uh,
Bergkamp,
Saviola. Who was that group? Saviola. Hernan Crespo.
Crespo. I mean, they had Ortega playing. He was more of a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we had Ronaldo, but he scored 4 that tournament.
Yeah.
Luka scored 5 or 6.
6.
6.
What about the one after?
Oh, yeah, he ripped the one after. Yeah.
So the thing is, I got a problem with France scoring a lot of goals against Denmark and Tunisia, and really the Golden Boot comes from having at least 3 goals in that first 3 games.
I reckon looking at the groups, like I said, I mean, it could go. Oh, it could go to Lukaku.
I put money on him last time. Obviously,
Yeah.
I win.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
put money on him last time. I think we could have a breakout star in Argentina because
Yeah, that's why I was
that
looking at that group because they got Saudi Arabia and
or
that.
Harry Kane again. Actually.
Yeah, Kane again, or even Vinicius. I mean, if he gets going, but I mean, he's more of a winger. But
That's a tough
tough group,
to
yeah.
score.
But then again, does Ronaldo beat up on Ghana, Uruguay old. Does he beat up?
Oh, he'd love to.
Korea,
Uruguay knocked Portugal out in 2014.
Yeah, and they probably got the same team. That's the problem. That's what I reckon. But I mean,
Hyun-Min Song.
could Depay do anything in that group?
That's not.
Tell you what, Son he's scoring for fun for his club. He's scoring more than Kane.
And his conversion rate.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
Is phenomenal. It's off the planet.
Both, he's perfect with both feet. He's quick.
The timing of his runs.
He's a good player.
He doesn't get pushed off the ball. Just give me a chance within 25 yards.
I was watching this interview with Patrice Evra. He was talking about Korea Republic, and he goes, you would never understand. He goes, what these players are like over there in their country. He goes, I went to Korea with Jisung Park. He goes, it goes like this. He goes, there's Jisung Park. He goes, and then there's God and Metallica and everything else. He goes, that's how big they are over there. He goes, and he's still bigger than Son. He goes,
wow.
He goes, I went there, and he goes, people didn't even know who I was. He goes, it was.
And Sir Alex said,
of
one
course.
of the most underrated players he ever coached. He said,
Definitely.
Jisung Park.
Yeah.
Robert Lewandowski's last tournament, possibly. And
Definitely.
And Pepe's.
See, he's got. If he was playing in, if Lewandowski was playing in Argentina's team or something, I'd say hands down he wins the Golden Boot. Because I don't think his team's good enough to get him. He'll still score, but I don't think he'll get enough goals because their team, they won't go as far. I don't think, and
yeah, this is the thing. They've got to back it up.
that's right. And they don't. It's hard. It's like saying if Wales back in the day made the World Cup, they would have had Ryan Giggs. You know what I mean? Like that's sort of what his team's like, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's interesting. So yeah, I'm going Portugal, Korea. Who'd you pick? Portugal, Ghana.
Yeah. Zakal says Germany or Brazil into the World Cup finals. So, there you go.
If Zakal, if Germany and Brazil top their group,
Can they play each other?
they cannot play each other in the final.
There you go.
If they both top their
Who
group.
do you go for in the World Cup, Zakal? Can answer that. We're it's a shame. None of us. No one can go. Probably not going to be going for Australia.
Who's our dark horse, people? Who do you think that might surprise everybody and at least make a quarter final? I mean, so I've written down some potential stars, and I've got Bergwijn, Mbappe, Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Again,
Lewandowski.
we've got about him. I mean, like we're talking about Benzema, Mbappe.
Yep.
Like
Lewandowski, Gnabry, Serge Gnabry,
yeah,
Sané.
he's good. Yeah, Sane.
Phil Foden might. All depends what the coach does with him.
Yeah.
Di Maria.
See, the
Benzema.
problem with England, you know what, is for so many times they've had they've had 2-3 golden generations, and the coach just never gets it right with England. That's the problem.
And they had a good shot at the Euros.
Yeah, it was at
as
home.
in
It was in their home.
5
turf.
games at home, and a good shot at the last World Cup. Sadio Mane.
Senegal.
Tadic
Is
might
that,
be a World Cup star.
that can be a dark horse. Senegal, I'm going to say that how far they could
They
go.
made the quarterfinals in 2006.
That's when they beat France.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 2000. That was 2002.
And I mean, so
Yeah, 2002.
that was the shock of the
They beat
tournament.
Uruguay
wasn't it?
as well.
That was the shock. That first game was Issa Diop. He scored against. So what's the shock of the tournament? You think what game? Does it come in the group stage? What shock of the group stage? You can only pick the group. What's the shock of the group stage? You think?
Shock of the group stage. You got a super shock because I think Japan beating Spain will be a shock, but I don't think it'll be that much of a shock.
Yeah, I actually think they could get up on them too. Yeah.
Canada beating Croatia.
Yeah.
Uh,
Tell you what, if Switzerland or Cameroon beat Brazil, that would be.
something totally left field. Tunisia beating France. You never know. USA.
And what? It's either Costa Rica or New Zealand in that group, isn't it?
Yes.
The shock.
No. The France's group. That's Peru.
Oh, Peru. Sorry. Okay.
Peru, Australia.
Yeah.
Or
So Costa Rica or New Zealand going to Spain, Germany, Japan.
Yep.
The shock will be if one of them, if that team, whoever goes in, gets a win.
You know, they're an problem with Costa Rica. They haven't replaced players either,
Yeah.
so they're an aging team. I watched New Zealand in the qualifiers. They're just no.
Are they better than Australia?
Oh. I'd probably be doing the Lek Poznan, you know, where you turn around and face the other way. If Australia were playing New Zealand. I thought there was more skill in Australia versus New Zealand women's game the other night.
There you go. Johnny G says Uruguay the dark horse. I just think they're too. I think they're too old, Uruguay. But yeah,
Yeah, no.
I mean, listen, they could show up. I don't know.
They'd have to. The thing is, they'd have to top the group with beating everybody. If they finish second, they'd have to beat Brazil. Oh,
The thing about them is
Brazil not
Suarez has completely lost his legs. He's just
Oh, yeah.
he's done.
Cavani's got.
But
more
the thing
energy.
is, he hasn't, because he was never relying on sort of
My speed.
on super speed, sort of like he's was a genuine centre forward. That's how Cavani was. He was always a traditional number 9. He's very smart. That's why I'm going to put it. Cavani's always about his runs, and he's still got them. You don't lose them.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think he's more important than Suarez now,
Yeah.
because Suarez has just lost his legs. It's Nunes will blitz. Yeah, Darwin Nunes. Yeah, I agree with Johnny there. He's doing real good for Benfica at the moment. A lot of talks that big clubs want him, United, etc. So,
Yeah, okay.
and he's very similar. I think he's very similar type of player to Cavani too. They're saying so.
KP, but he hasn't lost his teeth.
Who? Suarez?
Suarez.
Nah, doesn't lose them. He's lost his legs, not his teeth. Yeah, so Darwin Nunes. They got Nunes, Cavani, Suarez.
Suarez's teeth is like a shark. Every time he
Yeah.
loses one, it keeps getting replaced because he bites. He
So-
bites down so often.
I mean,
So World Cup final prediction. I'm gonna go out there and say Argentina v Portugal.
tell you what, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it? That'd be great. That'd be absolutely amazing.
I even think it could be Argentina, Brazil, couldn't it? They could play each other.
If they both top the group, no.
Oh, no, so okay.
That'll be 50-1. What?
I'll
Is
tell
it?
you what, I reckon it's a good chance.
Oh,
Argentina, it would be if you could pick the final from now.
Argentina,
Oh
Portugal.
yeah, it'd be
Oh, easy 50-1.
yeah, because it's picking it from now. It's
If Argentina and Brazil, so if they top the group, we're going to get one finalist out of Argentina, Brazil, Belgium, England, and Germany.
so could
Or Spain.
Yeah,
if
okay.
they top the group.
see.
On the other side of the draw, you got Argentina, Brazil, Spain, Netherlands, or Germany. Sorry, the other side of the draw is Belgium, Portugal, France, England. With no disrespect to any other team, I'm just going by the seeded team.
Yeah.
Whoever tops the group B, D, F, and H, one finalist.
Tell you what, it'd be a real good thing to see Netherlands get up for Louis.
And they've never won one.
Yeah, they've never won a World Cup. They've been to a final.
bridesmaid.
2 finals, have they?
Three.
So they lost the one with 74. They lost the one recently, 2010,
And lost 78.
78.
Yep.
So 2 in a row and 2010.
Yeah.
And I mean, they should have won one of those ones in the 70s.
They should have.
Oh,
At least one.
But Johan Cruyff didn't turn up in 78.
they will have
And I
to-
mean, and he was probably the best player in the world
They
at the
threatened
moment, wasn't he?
There was talking at
I mean, and they scored one of the best World Cup goals ever, didn't they? Before Germany touched the ball.
Oh, that one. It was only a penalty, but the weird.
I know, but I mean, the
weird
lead
thing
up,
is,
sorry.
the lead up.
Germany didn't touch the ball.
No, that's amazing, isn't it? Before you even touch the ball, you're 1-0 down. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be good to see them get up for Louis. Hopefully, he, you said, prostate cancer, like I said, all the best.
He's aggressive.
Yeah, they said it
What their
is. Yeah.
problem was in 1974. They took their girlfriends and wives to the World Cup.
They did.
Probably.
They did. Yeah.
Yeah, listen, it'll be real. Again, I don't think England are gonna. They'll get out the group for sure. They'll get quarters, something, but
Yeah, I just can't see them going all the way. I don't think they've got the quality.
from I'm gonna. There's no pun intended. From a Man United point of view, I don't know how England wins anything with Harry Maguire and Tyrone Mings at the back, and Pickford, mind you. They're still picking
If
Pickford.
that's. See, it's this. Who has got the best solid? Which team's got the best solid
Yeah.
backbone?
I actually agree with Rio Ferdinand. Their best centre back is a right back. So
Yeah.
And because they're not picking Tamori, like we said.
But look, that's what you do. You change. You move players around.
I don't think he's got the tactical nous.
You
for
know
that.
Scott Chipperfield.
Yeah.
He was playing left wing for his
Yeah,
club.
and he became left back for us. Yeah, yeah. I don't think Southgate's got the tactical nous for that.
Yeah.
He's very
Zinchenko plays.
left back and he's number 10 for Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do what you got to do. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't see them.
The team with the best backbone all the way through, I'd have to say,
France?
France,
Yeah.
Portugal,
Yeah, Portugal, France. Brazil's squad.
Brazil.
Good squad, yeah.
Belgium slightly aging, Germany,
Germany, good team, yeah.
Argentina. I've got a little bit of an issue with their defence.
There's one thing the Don always used to say to me is this is never count out the Germans at any major tournament. He said that's just one thing you always they're always solid. They weren't very good last time around though, were they?
No, that's
But
the only
I mean,
time.
Joachim Löw's been sacked. Flick is a real good coach.
Who are you talking about?
Germany.
Germany, yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know.
but
I mean, they have one bad tournament every 30
I'm
years.
gonna go.
So
Hey, I'm gonna go Brazil, Germany.
can they make the final? Can they play in the final?
Providing they don't both top the group.
Okay, so it's a possibility. Yep.
Yeah, it's odds. Anything's a possibility.
Yeah.
If you finish first or second.
Yeah. See, listen, I agree. Germany, I mean, like I said, they have a bad tournament every 30 years. So, and they've had their bad tournament,
Yeah,
and they've got a good,
That's what should make everyone worry.
yeah, they've got a good, like I said, a coach that knows how to win, and he plays good football too. He's got a good brand of football, Flick. I like him.
Yeah, I don't know Flick, no.
I mean, he won a treble. I mean, Guardiola couldn't do that with, but it's true, he couldn't do that with Bayern. You know, and
With that team. Are you kidding me?
he arguably a better team than Flick had. Yeah, so
Yeah. But Jupp Heynckes took that same team and won.
exactly. Yeah, Germany. I'll tell you what, they could go Germany. I'm going to go out there for Jess. For Jess, I'm going to back the Germans. They're the
Alright.
team I'm going to go.
That's it.
Deutschland.
Is Lionel Messi playing out? He is. Zakal, Messi will be playing.
Probably his last World Cup, but he will be there.
Zakal says, I go for the Socceroos and Brazil in the World Cup. There you go. Brazil. We're not going to go, we won't be going for Socceroos, I don't think so.
Unless Father Jim had superpowers.
Unless Father Jim has superpowers, he can bless the Socceroos and somehow turn Arnold into Antonio Conte. I don't know.
What's you gonna be Father Brown?
Yeah, just do something for him. But, I mean,
And beat UAE and Peru. And then come up against France.
imagine they did. It would be hilarious if they actually do it. But I don't see soccer.
It would be, even Australia or Peru, if they get in, it's the same 3 teams out of 4 from last World Cup.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
You know? So,
And Australia, they'll go into France, won't they? If Australia get in.
yeah.
And they played France last time, didn't they? We played France last
Yeah,
time.
we lost
Yeah,
2-1.
Yeah.
Remember, we scored 2 or 3 penalties.
Yeah.
We didn't score an outfield goal
Nah.
for open play.
You know what? The World Cup before that, I still, to this day, was so biased that Tim Cahill didn't win goal of the tournament. They gave it to
I
Rodriguez.
never understand that.
Rodriguez's goal was good, but from a striker's point of view, I can chest the ball and volley it a lot easier than I can score a ball over my shoulder on his opposite foot.
From 30 yards.
Yeah, that's a lot harder goal than Rodriguez, in my opinion.
Massively hard.
It's over his shoulder, and he did a Van Basten on his opposite foot.
Yeah.
Let's say it's not his.
Yeah. I know. He got ripped off. I
Big
agree.
time he got ripped off. Listen, Rodriguez's was good, but I think you see that almost goals like that.
But you've got
once a month.
You've got your balance. You've got.
You can turn.
You've got a touch.
Yeah, that's
No. Look, even Robin van Persie.
the header. Oh,
was quick thinking.
yeah, that was a great goal.
You know. So.
Even he was a good World Cup player too, Van Persie. He did well.
World Cup watch-alongs, Johnny G. I'd like to think so.
Yeah, we're going to, man. We're talking about it before. Me, Rob, and Chris were talking about it. And the thing is about it, they're at good times. I think all of us can get in on them. We can do them, just sit there and just... Me and Chris were saying some of them we want to set it up here, just sit on the couch and just do some watch-alongs. We'll do a couple. We'll do as many as we can.
Yeah, we will.
That'll be fun, man. That'll be real good. Everyone loves the World Cup. That's all I'm saying. They're good to get into. It's
Argentina on a Tuesday night. Argentina, Saudi Arabia.
there you go.
8:30.
We'll set up. We've got the four recliners. There you go. We're set.
8:30. Perfect time. Watch a Messi fest. Where are you?
Does he turn up in the tournament? So do Messi and Ronaldo turn up? I've said they will. What do you think?
I think they will.
Yeah, I think they will.
I think they will. I think they're just too determined to say, no, hang on, I want to leave a, you know. I mean, walking away with a World Cup medal is huge.
Oh, so I mean, he's got his Euro,
Yeah.
Ronaldo, and
And
Messi's got the
his
equivalent, the Copa
Copa
America,
America.
which is equivalent to them. So the only other one is the World Cup, isn't it? And I mean, I remember back in the day, like even this is going into the 90s, it was obviously now it's a lot about club football, it's Champions League and that, but it was once you won a World Cup, it was considered, it was the top thing. One that it was.
And it's interesting to see which countries, because I guarantee you, Germany, Spain, Argentina, Brazil, they'll stop. The problem is a lot of the Argentinians and Brazilians don't play in Argentina.
Yeah.
But I know let's pick Germany and Spain for
Yeah.
example. They'll stop their local league
Oh, yeah.
well before the English Premier League.
Yeah, I reckon they will too. Yeah.
South Korea will do that. Japan will do
See,
that.
I don't know when the English Premier League. I mean, we're going to do a couple more shows. I don't know when, even if when they'll stop. So it's 21st of November. I guarantee they don't. The TV rights, I just think are too.
They'll
It's
still be
massive.
playing,
Yeah,
they'll still be playing in November.
Yeah, I reckon they will be. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's 6 weeks they're having off, and the tournament goes for 4. So that means
Gee, that's tight.
that's very. That's what I've.
You've got to. I mean, you've got to get the team together, get them ready for the opposition because it's different opposition.
Yeah, John is saying they won't turn up, Messi and Ronaldo.
Whoa.
Big call. I mean, Messi was player of the tournament. What? Oh, not the one before last.
2014.
2014. I don't think he doesn't turn up for Argentina. That's the thing. He always pretty much turns up for them. I know he's getting a bit older, but he's
Well, same with
Ronaldo. Always
Same
turns
with
up.
Ronaldo.
Yeah, he always does.
Yeah, it's losing.
Yeah, that's
Losing.
right. Yeah,
So
that's right.
Players like that, you love them in your team.
Yeah, I agree. John is just trying to be John. You're trying to be negative Nancy, man. You're trying to go against everything we're saying.
He's the dissenting minority.
That's it. Yeah.
That's all right.
John will turn out. John's going to say England will win the World Cup. Harry Maguire, team of the tournament. He made the team of the Euros.
Oh, gee.
I know. And he didn't play the first 2 games. So what does that say? Who's picking this? Because he was injured. He got injured for United.
Seriously. So we'd like to have another podcast, especially after we know that
All the teams done.
which is the second week of June.
June.
And there's a public holiday in it.
Yeah, that's my birthday. 9th, always. Always on the Queen's birthday. So,
Whoa,
So that's good.
yep.
we have a barbecue then.
Yeah, we'll have a barbecue podcast. There you go. You
There you
heard it
go.
first. We'll be,
Like that.
we'll be reviewing barbecue food.
And yeah, food review.
Yeah.
Food review from the
whole
dog.
HFD team will be here, but me and Rob will be taking the podcast. That by the sound
And
of it.
eating. We're eating,
Yeah,
right?
we'll be eating that. Yeah, we'll
eating?
definite eating.
All right.
That's why we're coming.
Zakal, yes, Portugal can go to the finals in the World Cup.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I think they've got to, if they top the group, they've got a good run.
Also, can you wait till October for the Oh, so there's a cricket World Cup in October and then a football World Cup the month after. There you
Oh,
go.
cool.
Who gives a shit?
Don isn't waiting for it. You know what, Zakal? The only form I do like cricket, but I actually like the traditional game, test matches. I don't like T20. That's ruined the game. I think it's just
Oh, it's just a slash fest.
yeah, it's
It's
just
what you used to play in the backyard.
yeah. It's like Tippy Go,
Yeah.
Auto Wiki. It's like that. It's just yeah.
Over the fence, 6 and out.
Yeah. Chris C says, I reckon an underdog will win the World Cup. You heard it. Yeah, but we asked you which underdog. Pick one.
Pick one.
We're asking you which underdog.
And it can't be any of the seeded teams.
Yes, no.
So in Group H, who's seeded?
Portugal was seeded,
Portugal. Even though they went through a quality, they're
Yeah.
still seeded. Yeah.
which was weird.
Yeah, that's why I was asking.
You know who would have been seeded? Italy.
Yeah.
So,
Isn't it funny? Is this? I don't know how often it has happened, but the European champions are not in the World Cup.
it has happened.
Yeah, I'm sure it has.
Yeah, it has happened a couple of times. Yeah, I'd have to check. But yeah, that has happened. Or the Copa America winners.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That would have happened, I reckon. Yeah.
Because sometimes Colombia.
I mean, Chile won two out of
Chile.
the last.
Yeah, and they're not there
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I'm gonna miss the Chilean fans. They wanted
Chris C is saying Uruguay. We've had a few people say Uruguay.
Uruguay.
We've had a few people say it though. That's what's funny.
Okay, Uruguay.
A few people picked Uruguay. Dino says, "Well done, gentlemen. Great night of World Cup knowledge. Thank you."
Thank you,
Thank
Dino.
you.
Well, I think we're about it.
I think
we're
we're
going to talk about HFD.
Yeah, well, anyone that's new to the that's coming tonight on our channel, the HFD channel, we do, we do watch-alongs. We've got a Man United show on here. We've got an AFL show. We've got a normal podcast that Rob's actually been on the normal podcast. We do.
Conspiracy theories.
Yeah, we do everything on it. We try to talk about everything. We even do some gaming sometimes. We do all sorts of things. The boys are really getting into the football one that they're doing now. They did it last night. What about Poland? Alex says, and I'm going to believe Alex is going to say, "What about Poland?" because of that last name. They are.
Bartasevich?
I think they get out their group.
Oh, easily. And you know what? If it's Poland second and France top, or even Poland versus Denmark,
Mood challenges. Chris C said, "Yeah, we do." All
worth the bet. Depends how Poland have had, because I don't know why they've had some better teams in the past and have still struggled in the World Cup, and I don't understand it. They did have a golden generation in the 70s and 80s, but
is Robert Lewandowski? Is he the best Polish player ever? Is he up there?
He's up there. I'd say Gregor Lato was better.
Okay.
Boniek.
But he's definitely up there. He's
Definitely up there.
He's definitely up there.
Well, Boniek and the other one, Lewandowski.
But he's definitely up there, isn't he?
Oh, absolutely.
Top three.
Yeah. Because I mean, he's managed to bag 40. What?
I mean, he at club level, he's
41, 42 goals.
in 28 games. He didn't even play every game. the whole season.
Yeah,
So that's incredible.
yeah. I mean, his goal scoring wise, it's funny, they're talking about it. All the leading goal scorers in the leagues, of the top leagues, I think are all
Over 30.
over 30. Yeah.
That's.
And I think in Italy, I mean, you got Ibrahimovic, Immobile. The other one that's young is Tammy Abraham, like you said before.
Yeah.
England, Kane is 30, I think. Salah, I think, is 30. Ronaldo's over 30, obviously.
Yeah.
France probably is the only one that's not. Probably be Mbappe or something.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Spain,
How
Benzema.
old is Neymar now?
I think he's 29.
29.
Spain, Benzema.
He's over 30.
Yeah, over 30. Lewandowski, Germany. Because they're always saying,
Big leagues too.
yeah, they're all saying that, about the traditional number 9 has come back, and it's not all about pace, is it? It's be quick up here.
That's it. Yeah, making the right run at the right time.
Yeah. There you go.
So if you're a betting person, let me just say that there's because I'm a betting person, I'm going to try
Yeah,
and
definitely.
find
Me too.
during the group games, try and find the game where some team's going to score 5. It has happened every tournament without fail. One team scores 5 against another. It could be 5-0, 6-1, whatever, 6-0. It's going to happen. Trying to pick that game. If you can pick it, good on you. Picking the top goal scorers, another tough one.
I reckon Argentina, Saudi Arabia.
Well, imagine if Saudis cop another 8.
I reckon they pump them, and I reckon there's a chance someone does.
England, Iran.
Yeah, it could be even France against the IC. UAE, Australia, Peru.
Oh, but even Group E, Costa Rica or New Zealand.
Yeah.
Against Germany.
Yeah,
Germany are on
That's
fire.
I think the best 2 ones are Group C or Group E. Yeah, Germany.
Yeah.
Or that's
Overall, I think the African teams are stronger than the Asian teams.
Yeah, I agree.
Overall.
Chris C liked your stat. Says, "Wow, what a stat!"
Hey, it's it's trying to pick that game is the fun thing.
Well, they conceded. We said Saudi Arabia conceded 8 to Germany.
Yep. In 2010, Portugal scored 7 against North Korea.
There you go.
2014, France scored 5 against Switzerland. It was 5-2, which is really.
But they still scored 5.
And the Netherlands scored 5 against Spain. Remember, 5-1.
See, could Brazil smack Switzerland again? If France beat Switzerland.
Oh, I don't see it. Here's another fact.
I don't know.
Brazil always struggle against Nordic teams. And when I say Nordic, I'm going
Yeah.
to throw Switzerland, even though they're nowhere near that region. But they just seem to struggle.
Okay.
Sweden, Norway
Yeah.
against Brazil. Brazil hardly ever win. It's
There you
usually
go.
a draw or
Physicality, maybe.
maybe. I don't know. I remember.
Is Zakao? Was he Korean or was he Japan? Honda.
Suzuki Honda is Japanese.
Japanese, not South, because he said, is he playing for South Korea? It threw me off. But
But
he's not playing anymore, is he? Is he playing for
I
Japan?
reckon.
I think he's a bench player now.
I think he's a bench player. I reckon
He's not what he was, obviously. He's
No,
not-
but I reckon he's
But it
going
was
to
a
be there.
beautiful.
yeah, he's not the player he was. He's still playing for Japan. I believe he's still like a bench. He comes off the bench. And Chris C says Uruguay will beat Greece 0-4. He's on for the Uruguay big time. Put money on it, Chris C.
Yeah, put money on Chris C, and I'll be glad to take your money. Thank you very much.
Johnny G says, I heard North Korea win the cup every tournament. It's going to be a North Korea-Russia final. It'll just be Putin and Kim Jong-un on the field just talking to each other.
Across a very long deck.
Real long deaths.
Real long
massive
deaths,
deaths. Like
right?
something from The Simpsons or something. John. That was a good one, John. I like that one. I'll pay that one.
Hey, North Korea did all right in '66.
Is that when they win it? 60.
No, they beat Italy, and then they were 3-0 up against Portugal, and then Eusebio stepped up and scored 4.
Eusebio, what a player.
North Korea were 3-0 up,
3-0
and they lost 5-3.
In 56.
66.
Oh, 66. Oh, in England.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Best North Korean team they've been. 100. Hey, can you? I don't know. This is the thing. Can
100 XRP on
you
Uruguay.
actually bet Bitcoin?
Mate, over there, do you reckon Qatar will allow it? You might be able to. Can you bet crypto in Qatar? They might let you put some.
They are an official sponsor,
Yeah, well, you sent me that thing, didn't you?
right? They
Yeah.
are an official sponsor.
Well,
Well, that sponsor, the sponsor on United.
Bitcoin is or Doge.
Should be on here somewhere. One of these.
Be one of them, yeah. Well, that thing on United now, Tezos, that's a cryptocurrency. It's on Man United, one of the biggest club in the world. So
Okay.
what? It's obviously that's got legs, doesn't it? Like
Yeah.
if it's on that, like it's a huge face to be on, isn't it? Like, I mean, CoinSpot was on the ground at the AFL the other day, wasn't it? I think at the MCG.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep. Now, let us know if you want another podcast.
Oh, there it
We'd like
is.
to do another one.
crypto.com.
Crypto.
There you go. So they're a
There you
major sponsor of the FIFA World Cup.
Whoa.
Let them underestimate the Uruguayans, John says. Everyone's in for Uruguay, man.
go. Oh, finished 4th in South America. No.
They haven't beaten Brazil in the last 10 games.
John's just wanting to be.
10 games. Probably
At last, Johnny G and I can support a team together. See? Uruguay are like Port Adelaide, John. That's why you can't support them. They're like the Liverpool of. So, still on a football term, away from. We've touched on what the Man City and Liverpool both get through tomorrow.
Liverpool for sure.
I think you guys.
If I'm going to be objective, I think we will. I think Man City will get
I
through.
think Diego Simeone he goes. It's not. It's like he goes out to not even try score. So it's like the 1-0 they've got will get them through. It's like they're just.
Yeah, but he's 1-0 down this time.
No, Simeone, I'm saying, but
Yeah.
but he's still. It's just like he doesn't change anything.
No, he doesn't. He won't go out to attack and get this goal back.
So I just don't
They
know.
sit back and wait for their
I
moment.
just don't know what. And it could be, I was saying it to him from our point of view, United point of view. There's a huge chance it's a Liverpool Man City European Cup final.
Yeah, and they've got the semi-final of the FA Cup this weekend. Those two.
So one of them is not winning the FA Cup.
Correct.
But there's a treble on for one of them.
Yep.
And for Liverpool, there's a quadruple on.
Yeah.
Do you think City get up in the Champions League this year? They go one step further. He had a bit of a shot at the media the other night in the pre-game, Guardiola. They asked him, they go, why'd you pick Jesus? And he goes, well, you know, according to you guys, he goes, I'm an overthinker. It was smart. I liked it. It was a good comment. It was funny. He said it to Owen. He said it right to Michael Owen. It was funny.
Yeah,
But-
because Michael Owen was smart.
Yeah.
For being smart.
Yeah. So, oh, listen, he gets the Champions League for City. He's
You
a
know,
goal
he
there,
does
isn't he? He becomes a.
He does score more often.
It was a good
in
goal.
the Champions League than he does in the.
But listen, he picked him. He picked him. He played him centrally against Liverpool, and he scored, didn't he? He scored. So
yeah,
And he should have scored another one.
yeah, he could have had another one. But I mean, he scored, didn't he? You know, so and that goal, I actually think the Sterling goal, man, like the VAR, like,
tell you.
Yeah,
mate,
exactly.
that's a goal to me.
That's Rob said.
Well, that's a goal to me.
What's,
Like,
what's this, man?
from a striker's point of view, that's a goal, mate. Like we got taught.
You strikers must get really.
But we
pissed
got,
off
but
with
we
all
got
the stuff they're
taught.
doing now.
Obviously, listen, well, I don't deal with it in our league, but we got taught benefit goes to an attacker. Like that was what we grew up on knowing as a striker.
We grew up on as a I was a defender that the attacker had to be
Daylight.
a full body.
Yeah, daylight. Yeah.
Ahead.
Yeah. You had to be able to see daylight. Yeah, that's
If
what I.
there was this overlap, it's onside.
That's right. That's what I.
You were deemed level.
I mean,
So
you look back to some players that were just like
So,
like Ronaldo. Not like lightning. Like
that game should have been 4-2 Man City.
yeah, I think so too. But I mean, they still got the upper hand. They're still on
Yeah.
top. And the thing is, I see City being able to go win 10 games. Liverpool obviously did it, but I mean, they got United coming up, which I mean, couldn't mean nothing. They could just spank us, but it's a derby
never
for them.
know.
Yeah, it's a derby. Now that Ten Hag is pretty much confirmed today, maybe the players lift a bit, I don't know, and get something on Liverpool.
I hope so.
They will if they know that Ten Hag's in the stands
Yeah, well, the thing is, he's got the Dutch Cup final this week.
against PSV, I think.
But the thing is, see, what I don't get is they're saying they don't want to announce. PSV announced Ruud van Nistelrooy for next year.
I know, this is the thing. It's like the worst kept secret because everyone else, and even is it Ogden David?
He announced it. He said it's done.
He shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be announced.
I know,
But he
I know.
said something.
But he just went and did it because he wanted to be the first. And then
So-
Ornstein said it today as well because listen, it's done.
So
And
players will find out.
PSV are going to lose.
Well, I mean, it's close in the race too for AX PSV anyway.
Yeah.
It's only
Yeah.
3 points. I
Yeah.
think it's.
Yeah.
So I don't know why is he retiring? Why are they actually announcing a new coach if they're doing so well? They're in the cup final and they're
I don't
doing
know.
well in the league.
I just like the overall look of Ajax, and they're going to lose all these players again.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, he's done a real good job, Ten Hag. And from a United point of view, I hope Van Nistelrooy does well at PSV. You know, he's an ex. There's talk of Yap Stam coming with Ten Hag. He said, listen, he goes, I'm happy to go. So he might sort a few players out and he might sort a few people
He
out.
might, but he's also the right mentality because he was a defender.
Yeah.
So if and that's what you're talking about, a good assistant coach, because Henri's on the bench with
Or he was assistant at Belgium.
right?
Yeah.
Right. And if you've got an attacking type coach, if you've got a defender as an assistant coach, you get a bit of balance.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree. Zakel, to answer your question, they are in the same group as England. He says, can Iran make it?
You know what? Iran could beat the US.
Could they get out of their group? There's a chance.
There's a chance they could get out of the group.
Because I think it depends. I think if Wales go, it's England-Wales. If Wales make it, that's what I think. But
But if it's Ukraine or Scotland that somehow get
they're
through,
beatable. Scotland's definitely.
then Iran, USA, and Scotland will all fancy themselves to
Yeah.
finish at least second, I would say. So, yeah, good question.
Yeah.
We really have to know, and we won't know until the second week of June what these other
So,
three teams will
would-
be
Would you let Liverpool have the title as long as if you get the Champions League?
in a heartbeat.
Heartbeat? Just
Yeah.
want that one.
Yeah.
I mean, listen,
Because
say,
Guardiola
he
said,
gets, say if he gets it, he's a god at Man City, isn't he?
and they said, we'll never, the team, I don't think he said we, he said Man City will never be great unless they win the Champions League. Considered great.
There you go. Hey, listen, credit to him. He stayed there longer than he stayed anywhere else. And I mean, Barcelona's his hometown club. He was only 3 years. And he stayed at City, it's 5-6 years now, isn't it? 5th or 6th year. So he obviously is invested in it.
I'll give up the FA Cup and the league for the Champions League. No,
Listen, I just don't want Liverpool to win anything. So, pains me that the other
Well,
team that's going to win.
Chelsea aren't going to get up there. Chelsea are going to get done for third. I'm telling you, they're going.
So
to
you
get
know
done
what?
for
They
third.
started faltering, but they've actually started. They played well on the weekend, and then they played okay. They beat Madrid today, so
They did.
they're playing. They're finding themselves again. But
disallowed goals.
yeah, so Tottenham are just playing well. Conte's got them. Like I was saying that to John, they got a worse team than United, and they're playing 100 times better than us. Just shows you that we missed the trick with Conte. Like we should have.
And that's the difference between a good coach and even a World Cup or tournament. You've got a tournament is completely different
Oh, of course.
to
Yeah.
a season.
Well, I think it was like with Mourinho with us. He knew he wasn't going to make fourth with United, and he went, "Well, stuff it. I'm going to win the Europa Cup," and he went and did it
Yeah.
because he knew it's a knockout
Yeah.
thing, and just put all his eggs in that, and he won it. You know, it's
Yeah.
so. And he knows how to win cups, like we say that about him.
does.
He did it with Inter.
He knows how to win individual games.
Yeah,
Which means he does his homework.
Yeah.
You know, so in terms of good coaches at the World Cup,
Do you think he could ever take Portugal next? Does he one day do a? You know how all these guys they're taking their national teams. Does Klopp take Germany one day?
yes, I see that happening. I don't see.
Mourinho taking Portugal now. Imagine that.
Imagine,
Imagine there's a World Cup final and Mourinho, Klopp, and Guardiola are all coaching their country. But then again, he considers himself Catalan, not Spanish. So. But could you imagine that? And then imagine Conte's back in Italy or something. And
You
they're
know
all,
what? Mourinho with possibly CR7 as an assistant.
Yeah.
I think he's very strong in the dressing room,
Yeah.
and no one's going to question whatever he says.
See, the way I see it, it's not I always said this to you about, like I brought it back to Trager before. The way I saw it is when I was a player, obviously it's a completely different level, but if there's a player, a guy in your change room that has done things that are levels, you listen to him.
You do.
Chris used to talk and I used to sit there and just,
You do.
because in my head I was like, well, he played for the Socceroos, he was, and I was just, yeah. And the way I see Ronaldo is he's won everything. He's won 5 Champions Leagues. He's scored how many goals? Like, if I was a player, you'd just be sitting there just in awe. You know, how can you not?
Well, the other thing is, hang on, I'm 30. What is he? He's 39.
He's my age. He's 37. Yeah.
He's 37, and I'm still playing at the highest level.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Come and tell me when you're still playing at this level.
Yeah, that's right.
At 37, you know.
I mean, listen, the only 2 other players that I can think, the top of my head, that played at that level, still with top clubs at that age, are Maldini and Giggs.
Costa Corda and
Costa Curta, yeah.
Zlatan.
Yeah, Zlatan, obviously.
He's getting injured a lot.
Yeah,
now, but he is. 40.
But I mean,
He's
you
40.
look at Giggs, Maldini. They were going.
I'll exclude Buffon. As well.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say. But
Yeah.
Giggs, Maldini were playing
Yeah.
top level for their
Yes.
clubs, still European Cup
Yeah.
till
Full on.
the end. Yeah,
Yeah.
them too. And I mean, Ronaldo's doing it. So, and he hasn't changed. Like Lothar Matthäus was another one, but he became a centre back later to accommodate.
Yeah.
Like, didn't stay as his position. You know. So yeah, he's doing. I mean, even Messi, he's going to be 35. He's
If he looks after himself,
Oh.
he can still have a super tournament.
yeah, I agree. I watch him. He's still a freak. He's
And it's interesting watching him live. Watching him in a live
Yeah.
game, whether it be on the television or whatever. But he just hovers and drifts,
he's.
and then all of a sudden he's gone, and that's where you get caught out.
I remember saying it to him one day. I think it was going back 4 or 5 years ago now. They played Chelsea, Barcelona one game, and Kante, everyone, saying he's the best. No one could get past him.
Yeah.
And I remember watching Barcelona, and Messi made him look. The guy could not get near him. And this was a guy that everyone's saying is the best defensive midfielder in the world at the time, which he probably was. And
He was.
Messi was just brushing him off like he was nothing. And that's when I was like, that's next level. That's he was just unbelievable. He was turning away from him and doing him again just for fun. I think it was.
But his
Center of gravity is just unbelievable.
and his speed all of a sudden out of nowhere.
Yeah, just bang.
all of a sudden
Yeah.
because he is a quick thinker.
Yeah, definitely.
So before you realise what he's done and where he's gone,
Yeah, definitely.
you've lost him.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I watched a thing that's saying before we got on Rio Ferdinand's thing, and he goes, I remember marking him. And he goes, the one thing that he goes made it so hard, he goes, this is the first thing. He goes, I'm trying to elbow him, and he goes, my elbow's going over his head. He goes, and that's just, but he goes, it's just a fact.
Yeah.
He goes, so he's got a low center of gravity, he gets down, and most centre backs are big, you're 6'3", you're centre back.
Yeah.
Big, tall, it's hard to get down there and get around him, and when you're not his size, isn't it? So,
And Maradona said one of his toughest opponents, international opponents, was Robbie Slater. Because he was
probably the same size as him.
same size.
That's right.
And he just stuck to him.
That's right. Just, they probably said to him, I don't know who was coach at the time, probably said just
Yeah.
Venables maybe?
No, it was wasn't Frank Arrow.
Frank Arrow was dead then.
Yeah, Paul Wade. Paul Wade was playing 93. Who was that?
Yeah,
That would have been Venables, wouldn't it? Oh no, he came after. Venables came
No,
for
it was
the
that,
Venables came for the 98
He
run.
came after.
Yeah, he came
No, it
after.
was that,
Whoever was before Venables.
that touch block.
Back then, 93.
Yeah, I reckon.
Nah, our first touch one
No,
was hitting,
It was
wasn't it?
heading in 2000.
No. We had another one.
Oh, we had one after
We
him.
had Pim Babay,
Pim
but that
Babay.
was after. But
Dim Sim Pim.
I can't remember who was before Venables. When did Farina?
Frank Farina.
Yeah, when did Farina
Oh,
coach
could
him?
be
Could have
Farina.
been Farina.
Frank,
Yeah.
Did he come after Venables? He might have come after.
Frank Farina lost 3-0 to Uruguay in 2001.
So that's after Venables.
It's after.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't recall.
Don't know who was it then.
I can't recall.
So Alex Tobin was probably captain.
Back
Or,
then.
No, 93, that'd be very right.
could have been Arnold.
The first time round,
No. His first time round was after. He was playing then, Graham.
yeah, he was playing.
Yeah.
He was playing then.
Because he played with Farina.
No, is it?
No, he would have been playing then.
Oh, I can't recall who that would have been now.
No.
Bloody 50s, isn't he?
The captain was, what was that guy that Ben Dale was friends
Paul
with? What was his
Wade.
name?
Oh, wait.
Paul Wade was captain. That playoff in '93,
South Melbourne.
Paul Wade was captain.
Could have been Paul Wade, not so, yeah, probably.
Was captain.
Ivanovic would have been playing.
Yeah. Adelaide City back.
Oh, that was Terry Venables' worst ever mistake, not playing him in 97.
We were fuming.
Just leaving him on the
Ground.
bench. Everyone was fuming.
2-0
I remember
up.
when it went up on the screen and my dad was like, why is Ivanovic not playing? Like, it's...
And Vidmar missed 4-1 on once.
Oh, he's terrible. Really.
Four.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
The only thing worse that I've ever seen is either Higuain or Del Piero in Euro 2000.
Yeah.
Del Piero was bad Euro
That
2000.
was-
He missed some sitters and he was in his prime. Like,
And it cost.
it cost
us
it
the tournament.
because in Trezeguet came, they won 1-0 up the whole game and he missed some sit that would have put it,
Yeah.
killed France.
Yeah, would have.
And then Higuain was bad as well. But that's for another night.
It is. It is.
So we've said, guys, anyone that's still around, we went off on a bit of other football stuff there, but around the public holiday June, which is around the 9th, 10th, 11th, Queen's birthday-ish is when the qualifiers will be, won't it? So we'll...
Yes. First week of June will be
June 2nd, isn't it, I think?
7th.
7th,
I
okay.
think
7th,
I
yep.
think it's the 7th will
So
be
then the
the
week-
Australia UAE game, and
Okay.
then 6 days later will be the.
All right. So around that time, guys, we'll try to come back with another follow-up World Cup podcast.
Yep.
And yeah, like we said, Johnny mentioned it in the chat. Chris mentioned it. We're going to try definitely do some watch-alongs of some of the, the games. If there's a good double-header one night, we're going to be here doing it.
Subscribe, like, do all
That's
those
it. Like,
things.
share, comment, subscribe, all the jazzy things. We can bring this one up for everyone to have a look at. And yeah, well, we got told there's going to be a barbecue for the June one, isn't there? So we're
Yeah.
going to be here. We're going to be eating. The HFD boys, they're always coming for the barbecue. They're invited. So
Food review.
Bringing their meat so I can cook.
everyone's bringing everything. There'll be a food review, and because the Dom will be present, we're going to have to give him 10. You know how it is. But yeah, thanks, guys. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you everyone for joining us.
What's on the horizon for you, man? Back at work, working.
Back at work. Oh, actually, no, I've got next week off.
Got next week
I'm
off.
gonna watch some more teams that are qualified and some
So when
different
is
pieces.
when is Liverpool City FA Cup semi.
That's this Sunday.
Oh, that's this coming up.
This Sunday.
Sunday or Saturday?
Or it could be Saturday night.
So
Sunday.
Easter Sunday.
Saturday.
Easter Sunday. So there's still Premier League games, though, isn't there?
Yeah, because the Man City Wolves game got cancelled because of that.
Okay.
So everyone else in the Premier League that
Is that neutral? It's semi-finals. It's got to be
At Wembley.
It's at Wembley.
it's at Wembley.
So, Man City going to get the
In
chocolate?
the next 5 days, we could find out whether we're still in trouble or not.
So, do you think you're confident against them? It's
I
always good. You know what the thing is?
I am.
You gonna bring chocolates because I already matched.
Yeah, I think they'll get the chocolates.
Okay.
Do you know what I think? Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you know what the thing is about them? And like I said, it pains me
Thanks,
saying
JJ.
because obviously I'm a United fan, but watching City Liverpool at the moment when they play each other, they've drawn both games this year.
Yeah.
Reminds me of United Arsenal in the early
All those
2000s.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just knew it was going to be the best game,
And you just
quality wise, and it was
and you just
entertaining.
didn't know
Yeah,
which
you didn't
way
know who
it
would
was
win.
gonna go.
That's
Yeah.
right. Like that's what it reminds me of at the moment. They're just at their power. Hopefully, hopefully, Ten Hag can get United going next year. Conte, if he's at Tottenham, they'll get going.
I think Liverpool will drop some more points before the
I think they
year is
will.
out.
Does Salah stay at Liverpool? You think? There's big talks. They don't want to pay him what he wants because that's just hey, power to them. That's their. They don't want to break their butt because they don't want some Alisson now to turn around and go, well, I want 300k.
well, there's unrest,
And they went and got Jota, didn't they? And Diaz.
and there's unrest at Man City about them trying to sign Erling Haaland because
Yeah.
it's a $443 million deal.
Well, I heard today.
Oh,
I heard today.
Are you kidding me?
I read this article today. It said Haaland went from the player that everyone wanted to actually being the player no one wants because it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
They could go get Man City can go get Kane. I know he's 30. They were in for him last year. So say they pay a big fee for him again, but he's only on 100k at Tottenham. So a pay raise for him is not going to be.
No.
I mean, and Guardiola could even go in. Listen, I don't know. There's talks that he wants to leave. He had him, Lewandowski.
Could
Because apparently he wants to leave. I know he's older, but mate, you take him.
he wants to go.
Yeah, he wants to go. His contract. They're not offering him a contract apparently.
Haaland's been injured a couple of times
Yeah.
already,
Yeah.
and I mean, I'd be looking at some youngies
Definitely.
at this
Like
point.
that one that John said
22,
at
23.
Benfica, Darwin Nunes
Yeah.
is ripping it.
Yep, I'd be looking at that
You know.
because you could get 2 or 3 of them
Well,
for.
me and John spoke about it on Monday. The thing about all these
150
players is they
million.
ran their contracts down with anticipation that everyone was going to have money. But at the moment, there's not very many suitors for Pogba. There's not, and he's ran his contract down.
Yep.
There's not very many suitors for Haaland because there's too much money.
Well, even
There's not very. They're saying
No.
Mbappe is going to re-sign. They're saying there's more chance because who's going to pay this stuff? It's
that's just it.
so.
And Man City have already bought striker, is it Alvarez?
Yeah, from Boca, was it Boca?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, they've ran their contracts down. Probably they had had the opportunity to do it probably a year too late. If it was a couple of years ago before the pandemic, everyone would have been for Mbappe this free transfer. But
See, for 400 million, I'd look at buying Anthony from Ajax.
mate, I hope he comes to United with
Sell Sterling,
Yeah.
and then find even if you find
And the thing is, people be in for Sterling. People
Kane.
like him. Yeah. I just want to say Kane. Like his
Kane and
wage,
Anthony will be nowhere near.
his wage
Right.
is not going to be like Haaland's.
No.
I mean, Son. But the thing is, Conte now, he loves that striker. He's not going to let him go with ease.
Well,
That's the
neither
thing.
would I.
So last year was their best chance of getting him. I think now with Conte, he might believe, listen, there's a chance I can do something here, and I'm.
Does not even consider Harrogate because I know he failed before, but
But look what Ten Hag's done with him.
just
I know.
he's comfortable on either foot.
Yeah, he is. He's good.
He knows-
He's okay.
He's good in the air. He
I think
knows-
he's like the Lukaku situation. Look at Lukaku at Chelsea.
yeah.
Tuchel's not playing to his strengths, doesn't work. Inter Milan, Conte plays to his strengths. He wins the European League's golden boot. So yeah, I don't know. It's just
Crazy.
right place, right time. But yeah. Anyway, guys,
Thanks, Sakal. Thank you, everyone,
Thank you,
for joining
Sakal.
us. Thank you very much.
we'll see you on the next one. Yeah, we're gonna get. Oh, look, he's got green shorts on. Look at that guy.